Hey Deluxe, hey Ghost. What map did I play? Breeze. Did I play Breeze? Did I play Breeze? They got owned on Crude. What? Hey Keki. Hey Devil. What does Shilai? Is it Shilai? Shilai Gaming? That's how you say it? Hey Mala. Hey Astra. Bro, what is even the point of checking comps? I just know what the comps are every map for every team. It's just the same. Every team's playing the same. It's possibly the most, like... Weather is the only thing that makes it, like... interesting, I guess, but it's just broken. It's rough. Rough. Okay. Am I working with a team for Santiago? No. No. I don't want to work with 2 teams at once. My contract with Zeta is for the whole year, and I either work the whole year or I quit the contract. Yeah. Pearl. 11 1 start for Pearl. I guess we see how they're good at Pearl. Are they good at Pearl? Fucking hell. The fuck is that? Christ almighty, is loud. Can you quickly explain how Pearl is usually played? Quickly. Yeah, then one sec, let me just quickly do it. I think the most... The things to look out for when watching Pearl is watching for these spaces. Like, if the defense is able to get lines deep onto the space, they're in a good spot. Can the attack take one or both, is basically the question. Like, you're paying attention to these spaces start of round. This space here is largely irrelevant, in my opinion, because it's so, like, as an attacker, it's just not very good to go through, because it's so tiny. So ignore teams doing stupid shit like that. Generally speaking, if you lose the B site, trying to retake this site, especially if you don't have flank, is a nightmare. So that's something to consider. And then on the A side of the map, I think that retaking this side of the map is pretty decent. There's differences in some opinion, but I genuinely think that even if you retake with everyone back here, you're in a decent spot. Like, unless they planted open, like in front of box. Ideally, you want to have this and some of this. And if you do, you're probably pretty good. So the implications there are you need to hold B pretty well, and you don't need to die in stupid positions on A. There's more complicated things about art that happens. Teams aren't very good at playing around art. Some of the better defense teams honestly just end up playing a bit of like a contained around this space. I think bad teams die out, basically. So yeah, that's a TLDR of some of the things. I think I might delete the hydrate command. The other thing to look out for is, can the attack team actually take this space, and how much utility they use? I think the teams that use a full smoke here and then have to use loads of utility here means that their default's not very good. I don't love a default in which you have to use a starter, because if you, the point of doing a default is usually that later on you could do a fast trap behind it. You cannot really do a fast trap behind an omen smoke because you need 2 smokes to go this side. If you use just 1 smoke, I think you're kind of in a bad position, although it's viable. So like whatever conditioning default you have for B long needs to also turn into a full exec too. So I don't love team smoking this, and then it also doesn't even stop someone opening on top of the box, I don't think. So yeah. Anyway. Is Swamp Comp Viper Harbor no longer viable in Pro? It is with the new harbor. I think that Viper in general, basically the question with Viper is, are you, on defense side, are you actually able to stop people running through your shit? Because the meta is quite fast and there's a lot of fast agents. Like, is a Waylay and a Yoru just going to dive through your crap? And then on attack sides, are you going to be able to fuel cycle enough times to actually get value, as opposed to just having a Neon just running it down, you know what I mean? That's crazy pistol. I've never seen this. Just 3 people on a line. You have a beta here, and then 3 people on this line. It's kind of funny. I want to see here, because they're getting split, so this is another thing. They're going to get split here. The worst thing they can do is to go back and try to fight this. They need to fight up and forward and just keep aiming right now, as a reaction. If they hear this noise, they need to start pushing up to try and get space. That's what they're doing. One-way smoke here to delay. I don't love this star. Unless it's literally a very complicated bait that like someone sees Yoru and then they use the star and then they don't check this. Why not just have the star in a position that can actually help them? Is the question. Who actually did this? I'm sorry. Why are they smoking themselves off? This is a fucking defense smoke. That is mental. This is you couldn't have designed a better smoke for all gamers right now. I mean, it doesn't look nice. Their fighting here doesn't look nice. Saturate should be coming out as soon as there's contact here. And he's just white swinging. The fighting here didn't look great. I'm trying to watch this with the idea that we're underrating China, which we usually do. But the fighting there was usually the way that I could, like, I know this seems like maybe generalizing, but like when I think about League of Legends and Valorant together, China to me is a region that's very good at fighting, and that fight didn't look very good to me. I have watched one round, Zest. I don't know how I feel about this. I think in general this space is like not that valuable for attack, but I don't love seeing teams who just play this. Like, I need to see, I know it's anti-eco, so I don't really expect it, but I want to see, like, if attack takes this, I want to see someone on a deep line here. It simplifies the eco, actually, because a common eco strat right now is to go this way, and the defense should just avoid being run down by shitty guns. So I don't hate it on anti-eco. I don't hate it. I do think that if you just played someone like here, or they fell off properly, they should be fine though. So yeah, so right now I am going to say that I think Fangir is doing exactly what I think that I helped Paper Rex with. Before Paper Rex were like going on that win streak and doing good Yoru stuff, they were pretty much playing the Yoru like a jet. And what that means is just playing relatively passive, anchored, and just playing to playing for the TPs on its own site and playing quite passive. I want to see when this attack takes this space, I want to see Fangir actually taking some space. Yeah, he's essentially playing chamber, a worst chamber. His TP isn't, like, the opportunity cost here is the TP is not being used for anything fast rotation. So no fast rotation, that's the first issue. He's not using his escapability for aggression, no aggression. And then the third thing is that he's not what I call like babysitting is kind of the way I describe it. The way I see Yoru in a lot of situations is that you want to be a babysitter. You're going aggressive with a +1, and then you TP across and let the +1 stay. You don't always have to be the babysitter, you could be the person who stays, but ultimately if you're fighting B long, I don't mind someone else being this person, and then you can TP the other side, right? He's not doing any of the things that I want to see from a good Yoru. I don't hate this, and sometimes it's valid to do this, but I think on a bonus round with low money, I would prefer to see something on the map that's a bit more exciting than this. They're going to win this game 11-1 on defense, so everything I say is irrelevant. But I think once they start playing against global teams, like I think this is not as strong. I mean, everything I say, Cal, never applies to the individual and always presumes the coach. Like every time I do these anytime that I say that Fangir's doing this, what I mean is the coach is not making Fangir play the way that I want him to, you know? I presume that there is that level of agency from the coach to make his team play the way that they should. And look at this conditioning stars. This is something else with Paper X2. Not a single conditioning star past like the neutral space. Like I know the barrier here, technically this is slightly in front, but this is forward to just hold behind the barrier. Every star is behind a barrier. 0 proactive stars. It's very poor. All of this stuff is like obviously stuff that like does give percentage value. Obviously it doesn't mean that they will just lose at Santiago 30-0 or something. How's AG's game? So far a little bit unimpressed, but I've only watched 3 rounds. I quite like this double up, and I like this star though. I think this star, I call this a G2 star, a nice little one-way, and doubling up here is good. The only issue is this tower is essentially meaningless. If you're gonna play a heavy art setup, do you really need? Couldn't this just be Astra? You throw, if you want the molly, you throw a cross map molly, start a round, and then let Killjoy be the person here, and have more delay on B. Wouldn't that be better? Like this turret doesn't do anything because you have a full art setup. There's a lot, like honestly, all the things I'm seeing here. This is me rubbing my hands together, being like, oh, I'd make a good consultant for this team, you know. Fanger? Oh, okay. They're honestly playing... Yeah, they're not playing a very strong defense right now. On the other side, they have aim in. But they're gonna prod here and then probably end up A-split, right? They're gonna fuck around and B-link a little bit to try and drag rotations. But they don't bite at all, they just stay in their formation. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm gonna have to skip through this quite quickly. They win 11-1 playing like this. Weilei's late. Maybe if Weilei was here, they would actually go aggressive, I would hope. I know it's anti-eco though, so it's not the biggest deal. I don't hate this anti-eco idea though. Don't hate it. The Astra star conditioning is quite poor. The Yoru usage is quite poor. The general passive gameplay is quite poor. I think that in general you get away playing this kind of 2B, 3A like this against teams who are not very good at pro. As soon as they play against a team that starts pressuring, like taking both sides, because like I watch this VOD and I'm like, you could take both sides every single round, like as attack, and they're not gonna know what the fuck's going on. They have no info at all. Astra conditioning star. It means placing a star deep. A conditioning star just means you put a star deep that can be used for multiple different things. So you condition, you keep putting it here. The conditioning is by putting it there every single time. You condition them to think that there's not, you know, it's just there. And then it can be used as a stun. So like, sorry, let me try and explain this better, because it's a good question for anyone who doesn't understand what I'm saying. Let's say you want to fight for A control because the other team can keep sending 5 people there, right? If you never put an aggressive star down, if you never do this, and then you decide to fight the 5 people with 3 people, and this time you put a star down, these people should be smart enough to say, hey, look, they've put an Astra star down. Maybe they're going to fight us. Watch out, guys, there's going to be 3 people here. If instead you put the star down every single round, you condition the attack to not think it's like a threat. You know? Like that's pretty much what I mean. And hopefully the stars have multiple uses, right? So like if you put a deeper star down here, you could use it as a dissipate, and then you could have like someone take a line through the dissipate. So instead of just peeking here and being held by someone, by using it as a dissipate, sorry, my voice is breaking, you can take an angle that's a little bit more unexpected. Or it could be also used as like, you know, some kind of stun for fighting belong. So it conditions like 2 different ideas. Does that make sense? Like, the best teams of all time are teams that understand how to condition the utility, and teams that are usually teams that are like not able to consistently go deep in tournaments are ones that, or can't go as far as they should, are ones that don't condition very well, in my opinion. Like, it's not the only factor, but it is a factor for sure. Historically, DRX are a team in the past that were not very good at conditioning. Like, their conditioning was too obvious. PaperX are a team that had some issues with conditioning, but they play so like random sometimes that they almost like have their own conditioning. But there have been times where like on some maps where it's like, okay, like you basically get like a very solid read on what's happening because they're not conditioning certain things. Boaster is probably one of the best IGL. Yeah, Boaster is very good at it. Boaster understands conditioning more than most other people. And even if he's readable at times, the execs he's about to do are usually so strong that it's like, even if you know what's going to happen, it's like, good luck trying to stop it. Yeah, Boaster understands conditioning. If anything, Boaster might try too hard with conditioning, you know.
应该是要 run 的。要看动漫了。雄鹿肯定是打不了单边的。来了。但 AG 很聪明哦，拉得很靠后。
Sometimes though you can do like over conditioning. Basically, is what I'm trying to say, and I won't go into it too much, but sometimes you can just send it and you don't have to think about like all the conditioning. Like on Haven, for example, Haven used to be a map where like the conditioning traditionally was like a smoke here and then like a recon would be used for like long or something, you know. And so depending on what util was used, you could kind of like figure out what teams are doing. But because you end up using utility for conditioning, the opportunity cost is then you're like, if you go fast C, but you're still doing conditioning, you lose, you know, stuff. So you have to be like, it takes someone very thoughtful to figure out how and when to do, like when you need conditioning or not conditioning, or if it even matters. I would argue that if you're playing Astra and you're not doing deep stars, then you're probably not playing Astra very well. Would you like to be able to watch VCT VODs in the game client, like a replay? Yes, but I don't really care for it in terms of team environment stuff. Like really, like in terms of like a VOD review, like this. If it was like a player VOD review where I'm like watching just a player, like I think it's be more interesting. I quite like the comms and seeing the broadcasts and stuff nowadays, you know. But it probably would be better in game, I guess. It's just I like the you know, if I wasn't working broadcast, I probably would definitely prefer it in game. But I'm working broadcast, so I like to see what's going on. Just a full A fight. So now, look, see what I mean? You see this, guys? Now, like pretend you're attack side right now, and you don't know what's happening here. And for the first round, you're Yoru, and you see these two stars. What do you think is about to happen? I know this seems like fucking. This should seem grade school level. They are going to push. Yes. So what can we do? What should we do? Go B. Yes, we should just go B. Like we should go B. Like this is to me like I love this example because these are teams going to Santiago. Like these are teams going to Santiago, and I just explained like a really high level idea to you in a very, very easy way, and you understand it. Like I hope that my analysis can get to the point where I'm able to do this consistently, like both on stream and broadcast, because like this is like Valorant 101 strategy stuff, but it's like not usually talked about, if that makes sense. Like it is a little bit more in the weeds, I guess, but to me, like this is just 101. This is stuff that for the past 5 years I've, you know, I mean, like this. If you did this in 2021, I'd laugh. Like there's some problems here for all gamers for sure. This is Premiere stuff, yeah. Like when me and Slicky do the playbooks for Premiere, like I try to think about this stuff a little bit, but ultimately most of the Premiere stuff we're doing is just like a little bit fun, a little bit gimmicky, a little bit just all in. Whereas this is like you're supposed to be a little bit better than that. Is it good to assume everything is real until opponents show an ability to fake convincingly? I think that's where anti-strat comes in to some degree when you look at your opponent. Like, I would probably watch this VOD, and I would immediately say to Boaster, if I was, you know, working for Fnatic, I'd say, look, bro, like, they have no conditioning stars. As soon as they use deep stars, they're going to do it. They're going to do something. Watch out for that every single map. And I would cross-reference other maps just to make sure. And I tell the whole team, I'd be like, look, boys, one of my 5 notes, like I have a page with like 5 key points on. One of the key points would be like, look, they don't condition their stars. If you see any stars aggressive, run the other side of the map and go hit the other side. And I'd say that for all 7 maps. Should we not expect much from China then? I think strategically, at this very second, I've watched 4 rounds. I'm not like, this is the problem, right? This is the next layer, is you can be horrendous strategically in Valorant and still win. Because ultimately you shoot your gun. And ultimately, if the opponent is stupid and not reading into this stuff, then you still get value. Like, it might not be this bad on other maps too. What if they do it on purpose for the VOD reviewers? Well, that's where you go and watch multiple VODs. My job isn't to anti-strat all gamers for teams at Santiago. My job is to see if they're any good. And if they... I can guarantee you that they're not throwing this fake in for a grand finals of an upper bracket. Like, it seems to me, given that they don't understand some of the things on the map right now, I would just presume, my read is they don't understand some of the stuff. This isn't their map pick. I don't accept that as a good enough excuse. Is KO plus Chamber Deadlock not a decent counter to the Neon? Why would KO specifically be a counter to Neon as opposed to anything else? Deadlock in general is pretty good against the dive, if you want to play bunkered up. Chamber, I think, is good against duelists in general, but Neon specifically is probably like one of the harder duelists to play against, I guess. But I think that it's still probably pretty good. Do AG win just by player diff then? Well, no, it might just be that China as a region don't understand these macro ideas. Maybe all the other teams are playing just as bad macro. This meta is not about good macro, really. Like, you can play horrible macro and win. But this is a little bit concerning for me. Like, this is at a level where, like, I think that a good coach should be able to dismantle this pretty easy, honestly. Right now, what I'm seeing on Pro, like, a good coach is dismantling this. It is a best of 5, and Jaile have picked the map. And at a best of 5, usually the first 2 maps are very one-sided. But All Gamers wins this 11-1, so how can a whole region not understand such concepts? Like, I'm really not trying to make it seem as if China itself is just like so bad, because every single region has these teams. There are other concepts macro-wise that most teams don't understand as well. It is a little bit concerning for me here, because it is a little bit more fundamental than some of the other mistakes I see other regions make. But every single region has horrible stuff. Like, so I don't want this to become like a China are terrible VOD review or something. I just thought it was interesting that some of these strategic ideas that I'd expect to be done are not being done very well. Like, this is like a classic sin too. A B split on this map, not very good. All the things I'm saying, by the way, everything I just said, most of that stuff when I was working with PaperX at start on Pearl, most of it did apply to PaperX too. So it's not like I'm just isolating out China. Like, there's a lot of this stuff that PaperX are doing too. So it's not like, you know what I mean? I really don't want this to seem like an anti-China region fucking VOD review or something. Yeah, so basically B split start of round is usually pretty bad, because if you have a good crossfire here, you should fuck them up. And then once you get back here, you put a star, and you should be able to fuck them up coming at this choke point. So how did All Gamers not do anything? The issue is they don't... It looks like All Gamers don't have a good protocol to deal with this. They're not... Like, usually what you would see is a very specific reaction from defenders, knowing which positions they want to stand to crossfire against this. Whereas right now we're seeing one in CT and one in elbow, and then just a random Astra running. And Astra hasn't placed a star. Why hasn't Astra placed a star? He's not placed a star because they're doing their 2 stars here again. He's got 2 stars left. He's put 1 star there. Where's his 5th star going? Where was his 5th star? Or is that the 5th star? I think that's the 5th star, right? A splits are way better than B splits on this map, yeah. He does have a star. Huh? Huh? Why are we not starring this? They're not trying to fight them coming at the choke at all. It's very awkward. Nomad does a good job dashing out and getting kills though. Astra has a visual bug that's... Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So now we see a Yoru Killjoy Waylay B setup in which there's no... Like, the other thing I like to look at... So, like, some teams in Valorant don't play, like, the best map theory. In terms of, like, knowing which areas of the map to play and which places to play retake and that kind of stuff. But there are teams who don't know all that stuff, but end up playing very intentional. Like, they have a lot of intention behind their ideas, and despite the fact they might not know, like, some of the stuff that, some of the deeper stuff, they at least have intentionality. When I see this kind of setup, I don't understand the intention. We have a passive agent playing with 2 aggressive agents. The aggressive agent is going aggressive solo, and Waylay's not doing anything. Right? Like, I don't understand the intention here at all. We have 3 different ideas going on. We have a passive B split hold, a passive B hold, and then a semi-aggressive B long. I don't really get it. And then we've gone back to no aggressive stars again. The intention to me looks like, oh, we think they might go B and we're going to try and hold it. We got some good agents over here. That's not good enough in my opinion. If you can say, I am... I am Groot's names properly, I will rescind any and all racist, sexist allegations I made towards you. Yes, I am Groot. His name's I am Groot. Where is I am Groot? Which team does Groot play for? Wait. Oh, there. Oh. What? Bro, my eyesight's so bad that I thought that this was an F. I thought that was an F. I was reading that fam group. That's not a good typeface, man. You can't have a little eye like that. That's kind of a cute eye, though. He is Groot, though. How do I say it? It took me fucking a voice note from Alpha yet to pronounce this, and I still probably can. Vutagen. This guy was coming to my chat sometimes. I was like, I don't know how to say his name. Alpha, help me. I am Garp. Yeah, even when you say it phonetically, Yinsu, like, I feel like that doesn't. It's like QI. Is that chi? Is that like a chi sound? Okay, we learning. We learning. How? What? Is that you saying it for now? Is that equal that? L sexist. how are we getting sexism from this? The problem is that the racism part is annoying because I'm actually flaming China quite hard right now. So it's kind of I'm in a tough spot. You know the meme of the guy pressing the buttons, just like over here Yinsu calls me a racist. Over here I'm a fraud analyst. Like it's pretty tough right now. Me being a misogynist wasn't on my bingo card. Have you seen that video of Cairo that Cairo put on Twitter? I called him out for being sexist, and I still think there's something going on there with Cairo. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, right, let's watch around. Okay, so I don't understand the setup. I want to see something. I want to see a reaction. I want to see some kind of reaction. So even here, like, think about it. Like, we had a 3 setup. Killjoy has a turret here for info. So when Yoru inevitably gets, like, some kind of utility thrown at him, who is going to break it for him? The answer is nobody. It is Yoru ult, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the way they use Yoru at all. They do have 3 people here in time. And they do have actually someone in a position that you can play off of. But no elbow control at all. Usually I want to see like some kind of triangle. You know? Some kind of triangle. Some kind of crossfire. We did it, guys. We did it. 10 out of 10. Thank you, Ian. I'll be honest, that the thing about Yinsu calling me a racist is that I can't read, like, I had to think about even Ian's name there. Every single time you motherfuckers have like weird names that I can't say any of your names. But yeah, 10 out of 10, guys. That's a 10 out of 10. I don't know what we 10 out of 10, but it's a 10 out of 10. What about you? I mean, Iskander. Weird. You can't tell me as a Westerner that this isn't weird. If the Yinsu's come into my chat saying pronounce this name, like, you know it's like weird for a Westerner. Thank you, Slay Doin. Ian's not a weird name, but like, it took me a second because you spelled it the way that there's no way as someone who's not fluent in English would immediately know that this is Ian. Pansy Tech Pulser. Is that literally what your name is? Pansy's Tech Pulser. I actually fucking hates you. Okay, Yoru ult, nice guys. How have they retook this then? 2v3, what's going on? Why are we throwing? Why is Raga just randomly over peeking? Why is Happy Way 1 to 5? Why is Happy Way 1 to 6? Isn't this guy literally the best player in the world? Happy Way, come on. I saw your stats. That means you're good. I saw the 300 ACS. Okay, now we got... I can't tell you what they're trying to do. I guess it's just Fanger go try and get an ult pick, but then... I guess they're just like, they're not going B again. I don't really get the intention though. There doesn't seem to be much intention. They're not fighting for this. They're not fighting for this. They're not really fighting for this. They had an ult here, which is kind of fine. they're not fighting for this. So once again, we see them just stood behind this line, which is basically the same criticism I have for like Sen right now, is they just play defense behind the line. It's a bit boring and a bit not very good. Happy Wave power specs I'm up to. Oh, okay. How my boys Fangir and Raga looking? Fangir is being told to play Yoru like it's Jet. So unfortunately he's being underused. And Raga, I mean, I don't know. We've watched 6 rounds and oh. Go on, Groot. That's my boy, Groot over there. He is Groot. Why is the Astra ult so early? What does this Astra ult do? Bro, this might be the Astra. The Astra. So my criticism usually when I make comments about like, you know, stars and stuff is never really directed at players and more so coaching staff and structure, right? So I'm not blaming Gira for like this kind of stuff. But this decision I think is a bit weird. I guess they're gonna try and flood straight after the ult is down, but if you want to flood, like, don't you just... You have to put the ult more passive, because they're going to get past this ult, right? The ult timing doesn't make sense to me. So essentially, like, no value from this Astra at all. Like, whereas, like, now, if we could retake, we could actually, like, throw the wall down and go, you know? And bit strange. I understand they tried to flood, but the flood timing is slightly off. I mean, okay, I mean, that's also a little bit... I guess they couldn't plan for this. But if they did have Killjoy ult here, I'd be flaming a bit more, but it's fine. Because obviously with the Killjoy ult, you could just Killjoy ult, get the site, and then Astra ult and defuse for full rate, you know? But they didn't have Killjoy ult, so I won't flame. And they still eco ran for XLG, so they did quite well. Do we have perms? Are we planning on watch partying Santiago? I've really enjoyed not watch partying and just being a VOD reviewer. Like, when I watch party, I don't get as many viewers as I would if I VOD review. Like, nowhere near as many. And I'm not very good at watch partying, honestly. Like, I get bored pretty quickly, and I don't... Like, I like to be able to pause and, like, go forward and, like, draw on the map and stuff, and actually, like, sit down and kind of, like, you know, slowly watch, you know? If I was... If Sayo made it to, like, an event, and I wasn't at the event, then we'd be watch partying Sayo games. But... I don't know what the... I don't know when the... I'm going to be interested when Santiago games start, because it'd be really nice to have, like, I think that their time zone's only -3... It's +3... Wait, -3? I think it's -3. Which is weird. Doesn't make sense to me. If it is minus... I think it said it was -3. Santiago time zone. -3. It doesn't make sense. Every time I think about the world, right? I think England's over here somewhere, right? And I think of like America's like this, right? Like a big blob here and then a big blob here. But and then I see it like it's like the same width on both sides, but it's not. It's definitely... The world maps lie to us. These guys down here are definitely way over here. Like, it's definitely like that. It has to be. It doesn't make sense. How's it -3 otherwise? Markatten. The fuck is Markatten? Are you guys smarter than me? What's going on? Markato. I don't know what the map projection. Oh, okay. It was something we learned in graphic design was like the map is being kind of designed by Westerners or people of, you know, there's no it's no accident that the countries that are the wealthiest are the ones that look all big, you know. Mercator projection shows Greenland 14 times its real size. How did Greenland manage that then? I need to talk to Greenland because I would love to look 14 times my real size. How did they do that? They paid that guy. I need to talk to Mercato. Okay, right. Again. So the first round that at AG actually go for a deep priority line on Belong is a round in which Waylay does it solo when they could easily have the Yoru handhold or babysit, take the line and then TP away. It's to me, I'm not particularly locked in, I'll be honest. I don't want to be too mean, but it honestly looks like a ranked game right now. Like, I don't really see the considerations or the intentions. This idea on an anti-eco, sure. The alarm bot anti-eco idea is probably the most intentional thing I'm seeing right now. But I'm not liking these passive stars. I'm not liking the way Yoru is being used. I'm not liking like the reactive extremities to like the information we have. And I didn't like the way they tried to hold against the beat split. And now we're just seeing Astra. Okay, so Astra is actually putting a star now as a reaction. That's fine. Even like that setup on art where they had two people here and then the turret behind, it didn't make sense. Like, there's a lot of just inefficiencies. I'm gonna write it down because it makes the point stronger. There's a lot of inefficiencies happening right now. It's not stuff that will just outright lose you a game, but it's stuff that over time will just like add up into, you know, losing. Rounds will be lost. Rounds will be lost. I don't mind this. Like, we give the attack the center against eco. Like, who cares? That's cool. We just play contain. It's a little bit strange that we need this many people. The info cycling is like kind of hard, I guess, but like I don't mind this kind of giving up of this space at this point. I hope he's got. It'd be nice to see if he's got stars as a reveal. Stars has a really nice reveal from here that lands like up here somewhere. See if he got it. Oh, he does. I don't know where stars have got it. I don't know if that's common, but it's a nice reveal, this one. So I gotta give them credit. They do have a nice reveal. Camo did it? Okay. Camo. Trying hard to beat the allegations. I'm trying. I genuinely came into this VOD thinking there's no way that China's as bad as like people are kind of just brushing them off. Like the way I think about it is like when I look at like the teams, like wasn't like when I look at that FPX team and the fact that they didn't even win, like didn't they like lose every game or something? I'm like, well, China must be pretty good if like FPX are going like 0-3 or whatever it was, and EDG are scraping through this as a third seed. Like, I would presume these teams are actually, like, decent. Right now, Pro's not impressing me, but I'm still keeping an open mind. They still have very good... Like, at the very worst, my analysis is their players are very good. Is Yinsu Chinese? I think she... half? Half? Or... I mean, she can speak Mandarin, and she's got Chinese parent. I don't know if it's both. Since you didn't feel up to it yesterday on Plat Challenge stream, would you want to showcase your new bed today? You're not even subscribed. Like, if you're gonna be weird, you've got to at least subscribe to this channel. I'm not promising that I would even react, but at least, if you've got the balls to like ask me to ask weird questions, you gotta be subscribed, surely. Again, like a sub, I don't really understand. Like, what is the intention here? We don't have space here. We don't have space here. We have 2 people connector. We have an info, like this fade position's fine. Like this fade, like info cycling is fine, but there's no map control, no intentionality. Okay. This looks more fine. But why don't we actually try and establish something with the Yoru over here? As soon as we see the smoke, like surely we do something. Just quickly throw a Prowler out, see what's going on. Instead, Fade just rotates, which means our Yoru once again is playing like a jet. There's like no point of being Yoru at this point. Interesting star placement. What's this? What's this cheeky little boy doing? And so, like, just they've lost B long. Oh, they're going for a fucking beat split again. These guys, please stop. Please stop. Honestly, if AG did more of this and then just like went A or just actually went B, like they would be fucking over AG hard. They need to stop going B split though. Like every time they do any fake on either of the links, they don't move. Okay. Prowler, nice Prowler. 3 people stay. Let's see what their how they're gonna fight this. It's not like the best set possible, but let's see how they fight. Fade out back. The smoke is just to get like you can play all of this space, and you can run out into jail, and you can run back from jail. Interesting smoke. I don't know if it's good. Interesting. And then you also got a little one-way kind of part. You could even probably spam plant. It's kind of interesting. A kind of interesting smoke actually. You could just spam. You could get into smoke and spam and stuff. The most interesting thing I've seen them do, I don't know if it's good. Also, many, if you ever question your sexuality, it may be experimented around. Yeah, I mean, that's probably pushing it too far. I mean, that is probably pushing it too far. Probably, yeah. You hate your subs. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I hate everyone. The fact that you paid money to be my sub. That's crazy. That's kind of funny. Is that 3 casters? Are they doing tricast? Yeah, tricast. Nice pick. Nice pick. But everything's passive still. Wait, what the fuck is that? Why is everything yellow? Wait, how's someone done a yellow message? Patches, how have you done that? Wait, how do you do that? How do you color chat? Me? Oh my god. Jeez. Fucking new tech. Okay. We might be skipping to the next map, honestly. Oh! Wait, what? He's not aggressive. Okay, okay. We reveal. We fast rotate, cool. This has been the best round so far from all gamers, which means they're going to lose this one. But they over-rotate. What, guys? The best round so far? And then they do this? What are they doing? What's going on? Okay. How many do they win? Do they end up winning pistol? Oh, XRG come back a little bit. Let's see attack side. Let's see attack side. I'm done with defense. Attack side 2 2 1 1 1. What is this turret? Is this turret doing this? Can it do that? Can you do that with that turret? Okay, possible. Valid. Like inserting a Yoru on a pistol seems weird. I knew I'm hindsighting but I was like what is the point of these people standing here? Like, couldn't we just join this and then come back to here? We have a turret watching this anyway. Like, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't really make sense. I actually quite like this by Leo. We got a failed player called Leo. Like I said earlier, like the noise here, he took some space. Little bit of a maybe didn't need to peek, but and then Raga's also doing the same the other side. Like that makes sense. I didn't see the movement around here. He's doing a really good job. If he can see people here and TP out, this is like great. His TP wasn't great though. His I don't know if you can angle a TP here, but ideally he's not in the middle of shooting range here. Because if he TPs, he's dead, right? Oh my god. His name is I Am Leo. Do you think it's a big mistake for KC let Fanga go to China? It's a bigger mistake letting Martin go, and I think that at a certain point they're gonna regret letting their coach go. Like, their coach has just made Santiago as the second seed. Like, Martin, Fanga, and Gecko have all gone to Santiago as people employed by Casey last year. They didn't let Martin go, he just left. Yeah, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Like, if you're a good org, you can keep a player. You know? Like, the point is it's not like they just, like, there's more to it than, you know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm trying to say? It's like, sure, he left, but, like, a good org with good management would be like, look, like, well, we fucked up here. Like, how many Chinese teams have already reached out for consulting? None. I got asked to coach. When I made a joke at an after party at Champs to the Chinese casters that maybe I'd coach in China as like an offhand joke when I was drunk. And the next day I had DMs from, let me see. Yeah, I had DMs from a Chinese team the next day. I honestly can't remember. I don't think it was Alan. I don't think it was Alan. I think I remember talking to Alan though, but I don't think I was saying this to Alan. I can't remember. It was one of the Chinese teams, yeah. Full smoke? Who's... Oh, why are they full smoking us? It's kind of crazy. It's just eco, so I don't really care what they do. How are all the gamers? We reserve judgment until the next maps. They won this map very easily, but I'm not super impressed. There's a lot that they can improve on in terms of macro and strategy. We'll have to see. Attack side opening is 5 middle. It's not going. It's not. They're not helping me. They're not helping me. XLG currently have done already some. I mean, I don't love the fact that I don't really understand why you're separating these two fully. Feels a bit weird, but they are actually fighting for control somewhere. Yeah. But they're not doing anything with it. Like XOG, like I'm not gonna go into XOG, but like you can already see a difference in the way they're playing. Like if you drew a line here, like they are actually in front of that line a little bit more, you know. I haven't seen Fanga clutch though. This is one of the reasons if you can get the implication why the Teo plus like the double innie stuff on this map is kind of interesting, because you don't like this guy gets to sit here the whole game right now, and then they got this. With the double innie, you can kind of like put pressure on both of the sides. Not at once, but they can always like re-clear a side and shit, which makes all this stuff a little bit harder for defense, I think. B split again. With all of this control here, this player should be ready over here. Like, okay, like this for XLG here, it should be 2 here. The issue is that Killjoy wants to stay in range for Alarm Bot, but ignore Alarm Bot. This is irrelevant. This player should be here, on this side of the map. Shouldn't be here. Why does it matter if they do this? If they do this, we have this player stand here and watching this way. So ignore this. And if they do lurk through, why does it matter? We've got A main control. We don't care if they're over here. When we come back to rotate, we just clear all this stuff out. If we suspect multiple people push here, then we can also just go, like, we could just probably go this way if we want to, or we just crunch at the same time, maybe. It feels weird that we're just using a player for 30 seconds to do nothing, basically. Any advice for building a startup? Who do you think I am? I'm not enough of a dickhead to have any advice for building a startup. Nice happy way. Star in front of here is kind of interesting. Bro, I can smell food. I'm getting so hungry, man. Shrimp is a solid name. Shrimp with a 1. I think shrimp should be lowercase, though. Like, it's why my name's lowercase. You want that soft, like your name is soft and small. Like, you want the lowercase going. Shrimple. No man. I think what would have been interesting is, so now there are 3. Okay, an A main fight from XLG that actually makes sense. We got the Yoru TP coming this way. I don't love the Killjoy setup here. If attack rushes B here, they probably win. But they do have no, is that a molly? It is a molly. Okay, not the worst. I don't see why you need the Killjoy center map here. You can hear them go I don't know. It's not the worst. I understand what they're doing. If a team has shown no proclivity to go B, then you don't really need to overthink it, I guess. But this is the stuff that was missing from all gamers, right? Okay, so like, what are the 3 things I said about Yoru, right? It was aggression, cross map TP, and babysitting, right? Babysitting. Like, all of these is what he's doing right now. This is what Raga's doing. He's babysitting. If there's a fight here, he's helping. If there's not a fight, he TPs. It's all good. There's also, if you look at stars, they actually at least have a conditioning star. So I'm more impressed with XLG's kind of approach to strategy right now. Babysitting, as in like holding someone's hand. The Yoru is holding the hand of 1 or 2 players, and then he will leave them once they're set up.
现在这一分过后，如果还没有能够拿下，其实要考虑就要暂停了。第一波还是抢前点，但是这一次 Nomad 不会再给对手太多的机会了，因为有队友过来帮忙，短炮直接开喷，配合自己队友的技能是一炮双响，再追上来想再喷，一滴血再回去，利友架住了对面，且对于那在对白挡着，在对后面是对不可主场球杆打。
Who is Exochi's coach? Was that is that who Oh, it is Hoya still. So it doesn't surprise me that Exochi currently look a little bit more strategically okay. Obviously some issues, but this is basically Dirka's old coach. Not old coach, old IGL. Dirka and Cloud's old IGL, basically. Wait, is there a game where they... Let's get a better game where they actually beat Gambit, don't they? Don't they beat Gambit somewhere? Oh, I think SRK was playing and not... Yeah. I mean, the game that they won was when their coach was playing, not their IGL. But yeah. Who will win Santiago? 2 phones. That's, I don't really know 2 phones that well, but that's funny. A nice little mid-fight idea. I guess in XLG's head they're like, well, surely AG don't just go A main again. We'll try and trap the middle. Again, the Yoru theory, cross-map TP, aggression, and babysitting. Oh. I like how XRG used Raga a lot more than how AG used Fenrir. And this is the thing, right? Like, this is the thing about Valorant, is that I think it's way more interesting to be honest about the analysis, despite the fact that, you know, AG are winning 11-5. Like, it'd be easy to be like, oh, AG must be playing better. Maybe there are some things that don't better, but genuinely, I think that, like, in terms of an approach to the map, I think that it's been more impressive from XOG in terms of, like, on paper theory in some of this stuff. Some of the fundamentals, I guess. Maybe not theory, but fundamentals. This is your first time VOD reviewing China for content reasons, at least. Is it? I don't think so. You're saying over the last 4 years I've never VOD reviewed China? I'm pretty sure that's not true. That can't be true. It's the first time this year. But I haven't VOD reviewed anyone this year, really. He won a 1v4? Oh, what's Raga doing? It's one way to win a game. But now even XOG are doing this kind of shit. really understand. Don't really understand. Maybe it's anti-strat here? I don't know. Yeah.
转点的话已经非常难打了，他们对 BY 完全是零信息啊。感觉还是得把小道清理一下之后，最后一波强 A。后来已经被解决掉 A 叫。
How are AG looking? Strong individually, a lot of inefficiencies strategically. I like this. That's why I pray for this in my ranked games, man. Plant here, take art, and then actually have a good post plan. Astra ult's weird. You're basically telling the defense that you're not here, and so they should be able to accelerate quicker. It's a bit of an early Astra ult. Why did this person go this way? Is the question. Stay 2 here, and then 2 here. It's very strange. And then even, like, this person... What? 2 of them went this way, and 1 of them's gone this way. It makes... I'm very confused. Why are we... Why are you prioritizing A main? The plant is here. We can spam it. And they got Astro. It makes even less sense to be 3 here, 1 here. Because you know they're probably going to do a shit Astro across here. I don't know how they're supposed to Astro this. I guess like this, probably. Probably should ult like that right now. I don't know. This is kind of... I don't like this, though. You're giving, like, the same angle to come out at the same time for a crossfire. Do I do private coaching? No. No. I only do public coaching. No, I don't do private coaching. I don't like to be honest with you, like, it's something that I might be interested in the future, but right now, like, it goes like, I have 3 things to focus on, right? I have the broadcast work, which is probably the most important. Then the coaching stuff, and then my stream. If I add private coaching onto that, like, it's just too much. But what if money? I have enough money with what I'm doing right now. Like, those 3 things pay me enough. Like, don't forget Plat Chat. I mean, Plat Chat comes under number 3. I don't mean that in like a bragging way. I mean that in a like, I very consciously thought about the amount of time spent on these things versus like my, you know, income, right? Like my whole esports thing post head coaching is trying to balance these things a lot easier. Platchat paying you well. Platchat does pay and is very nice, but Platchat's mostly just for brand recognition, right? It's like, well, it's actually 2 things. It's like brand, but it's also then I feel like I've become more comfortable on broadcast partly because of Platchat. It does take a little bit of time to kind of warm up to being comfortable to just understand which parts of your personality actually will make sense on camera and stuff. The pay for an hourly rate on Platchat has to be amazing, surely. Yeah, but if you think about it truly, like a lot of the time that you spend, like, it's not the time you're on. It's like broadcast. It's not the time you're on the broadcast. Like, technically, broadcast would be the most well-paid job like I've ever done by far. If like it's just the hours you're on broadcast. It's all the work you do before and all the research you do and all the kind of stuff before. You could make shit up. You could make shit up, and I hope you would notice. I hope you would notice. Oh shit, too far ahead. Right, split. Please. So, in terms of comps, I actually slightly prefer XLGs. I think Fade is much better than Sky on this map. I much prefer Fade. I think Waylay is probably slightly overtuned even on this map, even though I like Raze on this map. So I think that I prefer this. I would ideally like to see an Astra here, but it is what it is. Yeah. Not the biggest Sky fan. I don't think it's necessary. Okay, right, pistol. Dash across Dog Heaven. I mean, the value from the Sky is at least like when you're doing your all-in strats, like they can get a dog up here. Like it makes like this kind of strat kind of easier. We're gonna see a little crunch. Got the way they're dashing up here. Is that a good boombot? Usually you... Where's the nade? It's a bad nade. Yeah. Boombot and nade. You need to use stuff on this choke. Like Alpha's job pretty much all the time is to just nade off this and make sure you can get across. Unless it's all just a ruse to make it feel like it's a heaven, when it's like they're actually going main right now. And this guy can just protect heaven as long as possible. But it's not, because they're doing the dash strat. I don't really get it. You're boombotting and nading the place that you want the Waylay to get frags on. Because if you look at the Waylay's pathing, I guess it's... I don't know. Okay, I'm overthinking. I'm not going to go into it, but maybe the idea is nade here so the Waylay can go here, but the boombot actually triggered so the Waylay's looking here. I don't know. Something didn't feel quite right about that, but... And now they open plant and they don't have any heaven control. We're probably going to see them push through CT here. They don't have numbers close to this choke to come back, so I hope they go for a CT push. Instead, we see the Raze immediately pull back, but there's not numbers here to fight. On a pistol round, you want to be grouped up as much as possible, right? This way they need to pull back with the Raze probably, and they need to fight ramp together if they're going to do this. Especially with this open plant. If they can control ramp, they've won the round, because then they can win the heaven post plant. Instead of very kind of spread, almost rifle round kind of approach, like the USP here, Ghost being played here, it doesn't feel like the best idea. There could easily be 3 people just overwhelming him right now. And it doesn't matter, because he gets to go. He gets both kills, it's fine. But analysis-wise, I think that's incorrect. That's the kind of shit that, like, this is the kind of shit where it's like, I think that a lot of coaches will watch this and be like, oh, nice, Kira, nice shot. We played this round well. And then in reality, I'd be fucking, like, it's why, like, sometimes, like, even with paper, it's like, we'd win a scrim, like, 22-2, and I'd have, like, 2 pages of notes. And then we'd lose a scrim, like, 13-11, and I'd have, like, 2 notes instead of, like, 2 pages, you know? It's, like, stuff like this. Like, I think a very good coach is going to be able to understand when stuff is bad, even though it wins, if you know what I mean. I don't like this. Do you think what they did was valid, or just throw another way? The strat itself, there's an interesting idea here in terms of the Waylay dash idea. I don't know micro-wise specifically how you should do it. This is the kind of instance where, like, when I work with Boaster, it's where, like, I would defer to him a lot. I'd be like, look, we got this cool strat idea where we're Waylay dashing here. Can you figure it out for me? Because how do you want to operate the rest of this part? And he was good at his understanding around micro and what util he'd want to use was better than mine, or he had more of an opinion on it. But then my brain was more problem solving, so it was like all the stuff I said about them not having heaven control with the open plant and like how do they push? Do they want to push here or push here? That's the stuff that I liked. The stuff when it's like, what utility do we want to use to take this? I don't really care as much about. But I still obviously understand it and have an opinion. It's just Boaster was a bit more like into that stuff than I was, and usually had probably a better solution than me.
看一下后续这一分应该 A 是拿下了，因为枪械优势是握在手里的，5个人全起来了，只有粉盖尔是一把飞将，就是掉了的话影响没有特别大，其他人的枪还是都是蛮贵的。
而且 XLG 反清，但 A 压力还蛮大的，而且高瑞奇这个墙边的位置，这边之后能收到信
哦，很细哦，把沿边的人找出来了，粉。
这边之后能收到信
哦，很细哦，把沿边的人找出来了，粉盖尔顺势笑纳了这个人头。
哦，那这样子的话，其实开局 AG 做的还是不错的。B 只能B 点是3个人，但枪会比较差，光能闪爆直接掷出来，但是没有后续可以跟进的技能，强行往下跳，点内防守队员 Happy 维
T 怎么办？点里其实是有埋跑度的，但太抓。
太多的好。猫奖励来说，
只差2个点就已经要把
Why are they done? Why are they doing this when they've got orb? What are they using the orb for? Like it used to be you did this so you can throw the orb, the DRX orb, or even if you wanted to do this one. I think I prefer this one though. What's he doing with the orb? Like this wall isn't as good as this wall, in my opinion, because you get like you give them a lot more space to work with, and then also you don't get the nice little reverse protection. Like you see, like in EMEA, teams keep abusing this wall by just like Fade Prowler, aggressive agent. You see sometimes with that wall, like aggressive agent gets shut down because they run through. They have to run through like, you know, the angle's not too bad for this player. So a bit confused by their use of their Viper tech. Liking XOG. I like this. This is looking good. Thumbs up. It's a bit strange. I maybe prefer Omen and Waylay switching here. I don't really hate either. It's just that Waylay saturate around this space feels pretty good. And then Omen can just like TP and do stuff on A. I can even play like this side, look down, TP across and shit. Like, I think I'd prefer them switch, but it's probably preference. And then like even if there was a B, then the Waylay's closer to then go and saturate, you know, B side and stuff. I think I'd prefer them to switch. I like in this deep B main control though. I think this is an instance where I don't mind it being used as like almost the Jet kind of style, where the TP's not cross map. Because like it's fine. Like he's still inserted deep, like he gets info quick, he gets a shot, he goes out. But sometimes you should babysit instead, and like someone else comes here and then he could rotate. It just depends. They have a plan to fight mid. Isn't it better to fight mid with a Waylay saturate than it is with a Paranoia? Drew Face, honestly, I can't remember specifically. When I watch Paper X, I would almost never consider the opponent they were playing against. I never took it in that we were playing against China or something. So I don't remember. I genuinely can't remember. And I wouldn't even think about the opponent very much when I was watching them. He will save orb for post plant, yeah. He'll be saving orb for post plant. I just don't think it's good on this map as much. I mean, can't he, like, isn't it just better to just do this? And then just save orb if you really want to save it. Like you can more comfortably get onto your line to like battle people and stuff.
要去打突进，由于这个位置很谨慎，直接往下落，飞进来，第一波电梯防的位置 ，AG 是可以站下来。那其实
Fake info here. This player is winning the round right now.
不管是夹 A 还是夹 B，现在都具备了一些条件。
Interesting here. So I noticed the other day that like when you have this control, I would like this player to play more back here. I want to see if they do go B, is he gonna take a shot and then just run away? Or is he gonna be stupid and try and stay up here?
XLG 还是不想跟你在前点发生那种比较冒险的冲突，还是尽量把强切优势或者人多的加强角度把握住。
Paranoia. I hate it feels like a forsaken paranoia, but why do you like it? It just feels pointless. We delayed them slightly. It's like great. And we just peeked them on a terrible angle. Nice shot from No Man. But he makes no attempt to get out. Lysa kills them. Like, they have 3A. And they somehow managed to get into a position where they're here. How does that happen? Why are XLG why are they running away? What is going on? They just randomly run away. Don't get it. Don't get it. Is Mini still with Paper X? No. No. They made the correct choice of getting a full-time assistant coach. I think honestly, I'm kind of like happy with the way that I worked with Paper X in the sense that like I feel like part of my job is to kind of try to get like part of my I think I said it very early to Harley that their CGO that like they should be looking to get an assistant coach that can do the stuff that I was doing, and there are people out there that can do that. And then when I had one there help me with champ stuff, like I was like bridging that relationship a little bit. And so like almost I feel like part of my job as someone who's like a good consultant is to almost like almost like stop myself getting that, like I shouldn't be there long term, if that makes sense. Like I was kind of like, but does that make sense? Like I think they've had hesitations around building out more coaching stuff, and I think that I did a decent like part of the success I feel like wasn't even the team playing better, it was like getting them to realize that the value of having someone else would be good. How is that nepotism? I like the joke, but I don't get it. IT consultant audit companies would sue you for this comment. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's not that I don't want money, it's the fact that like I feel like the quality I provided, like obviously I charge more money than I would as like a normal coach when I'm doing the consulting stuff. And so I feel like I need to bring more value. Oh. I mean, yeah, I got it. Opinion on Gecko reclaimable mosh. I think that after some pushback from Sliggy when I said that it was like not the biggest change ever, I think that in practice, I think it's going to be harder to find mosh pits where you can play like throw it and then pick it up and then throw it and then pick it up and then throw it for post plant. But on maps like Bind, you can just throw it like a bit more protected. Like this is the ideal one, but picking this up is a bit like difficult. So you could just still throw it in places, and then you could pick this up, and then you could use it for an exec, and then you could pick it up, and then you could use it for post. Like I think it is kind of valid. It might just be the case though if it gets played on maps where it's not possible to do that. So like this is another map where like we were talking about, and it's like you could still molly here, pick it up, throw it exec, maybe pick it up, and then have it for post. Other maps, I think it's gonna be harder to have 3 cycles of like throwing it. So, but it might still, if it's gonna be played, it still it has to be valuable for 2 cycles. Like you have to be able to 2 cycle it consistently. I think ideally you want 3 cycles for it to be broken though. Congrats on making it to Santiago. You did amazing on mates. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's weird. It's really weird that like no one's actually congratulated me yet. I'm fucking one of the best players in the world, and you motherfuckers don't even say anything.
再慢慢往里去推的，尤其当你有夜路的时候。
Like Molly to claim site and post plant, I don't know if it's enough. It's like it's only enough if like the state of the meta changes enough. Like if a lot of things get nerfed and stuff. Like it, I think it's almost like right now the read I have on it is that like it makes maps it was already okay on better. The molly change affects defense, yes. I think that's the other thing is I mostly think about attack for some reason, but like when it comes to Gecko. But yeah, what Sliggy was saying in my chat was like, well, what about the refights on defense? So like one of the common things on defense with Gecko was that you would do things like, let's say it's like Sky and Gecko, you would do like double flash combos to re-clear space. So what you could do is you could throw a mosh pit down, like throw a mosh pit coming over, and then like do a double flash re-clear, and then you pick up the mosh pit and have it for retake. So when you go and retake A, you have the mosh pit back to fuck them up still, you know? I like Veto. I think that teams mostly don't play it very well. My opinion is, like, over the past week we've seen Paper Rex, G2, and a tiny bit of Vitality using more aggressive interceptors on defense, which look interesting. And those are the ones that, like, Anders in his Veto video was talking about very early on. And you should watch that if you want more good understanding of what a good Veto might look like in the future. At the very moment, I'm not like super impressed. Like I think that if you're gonna play it bunkered, you might as well just play Vice. And if you want a more dynamic thing, then you might as well just play Chamber. Because other people aren't really doing anything. Is Veto anti-stratting the rush comps better than just Vice though? That's the thing. Like I think that Fnatic's, I don't think Vice is the best, but like if you're gonna play like this bunkered style anti-rush, isn't Vice actually just better? Veto the ultimate babysitter concept? No. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. But you don't like with Veto. I don't think you wouldn't like babysit and then let them grow up and run away and leave them. You basically just stay with them longer. You babysit longer, I think. Veto only counters some agents. If you pick the right agent, you can just ignore Veto. I disagree. The irony here is that the less utility your comp has, the more impact Veto has. Unless you're talking about choosing shit agents like Breach. Like, I think most people seem to think that like it's good at like taking up loads of util. But it's the irony, I think, is like it. If you only have one drone and it hits your drone, he's taken up more percentage of your util. Full mini team, mini boo. There's a Turkish mini, and then there's also 2 mimis. Although they say mimi, I say mimi, which sounds more like mini. And then there is an imi too. So imi, mini, mimi
留一手中继技能出来 B 场拿下信息，
might be enough.
看到了对手没人，那这样子的话 A 点已经成为了 XLG 怀疑对手进攻的方向。
What's the title of the video about Vito? Just type in Anders YouTube, like Anders like this, and you will find it.
Raga 第一波明狙虽然被闪了，但是后续进攻的过程中看一下他
Okay, let's actually lock in and watch round.
啊，而且明狙起了出来。
Raise boom bots, the pressure from defense, Wele and Yoru, but again, very passive. Very passive. We at least have some control here, and some implied control. I don't know why I talk about defense, so I should be focusing on AG. Dog to clear middle, so I'll give them some credit here. A lot of teams do something really stupid. I hope this was on purpose, but you see that Viper Orb is down, and then they dog. There's so many teams right now who just throw util through a Viper Orb, and then can't run through. So something very basic, but honestly, teams do it so stupidly that I've kind of lost hope for some teams. I don't know why there's no smoke with the dog. We just let a dog get killed for free. All gamers let a dog get killed for free. That's mad. Also, now orb is back up. They've not scaled with the orb. I praised them for the dog usage, not using the orb, but what the fuck? You need to throw a smoke because now look what happens. They kill the dog, they orb up, and now you look stupid. Just stood behind a fucking orb. You gotta use another flash. You're now flashing through an orb. You can't go through the orb. What a fucking waste of util. This Viper Orb might be the most valuable Viper Orb in the game against people who just don't scale properly. It's the biggest scale check of any team. Like, if you're... I feel like there's a bunch of different, like, fundamentals in the game, right? Scaling is one of them. Like, and this basically is a scale check. Are you good at scaling or not? And the problem is that I think that, like, Viper on this map is almost impossible to do anything. Like, I remember having this chat with Wendler where, like, he was showing me interesting walls. And I was like, bro, but, like, if you put the orb middle, 99% of teams fail the scale check completely. What team scales well right now? Probably Fnatic and G2, like, those kind of teams. Paper X for sure would know how to scale better than this. But it would be more intuitive than it would be, like, intentional. I don't know, like, I don't know. Just every time you watch Split from now on, see if they just watch the attack when they group middle, and think about, are they actually using util through this, and do they run through, or like are they just fucked, you know? I'd rather just run through the smoke than use 3 pieces of util. How Viper works in VCT ranked, it's just shit. It shouldn't be shit in ranked, but it's probably shit because your teammates don't play with you. And most of the time, attack is just going to full extremities on Split anyway. So yeah, so honestly, this is like... China might be one of the best regions for me to actually show concepts in Valorant in terms of like when they're done a little bit worse than they should be done. Because like this is like prime, like if this was a team in EMEA, I would be losing my shit. Like I'd be so angry. Like if this was like a top EMEA team, I'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? If Fnatic ever tried to pull that, I'd be laughing, you know? Why are teams leaning away from Viper on Crowd? Because there's 2 reasons. I think one reason is because the Viper tech that they use is often not the best on attack, and it seems like there's a general lack of understanding how to use the walls. Even when I watched the BBL game, it seemed like they didn't really know when to wall up and wall down and which parts of the wall to actually use for different stages of their scaling. And the second reason is I don't think teams understand the map in general enough, and so are just throwing ideas at the wall. I think EMEA in particular, I'm really not sure that we're very good at the map. I think America's looks like they're much better at the map when I watch than EMEA.
经典的 free kills，对于这一分 XOG 的部署来说，A 对面的队友
也行。
芒可比居这一分容错率高一点。
I don't know which team has the biggest chance of winning Santiago. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to try and predict.
就必须要去付出一些代价，比如说 Kira 的终极技能。
对，这终极技能其实好了有
I don't know.
但上来
This is the problem is like I think as a streamer, you guys like it's really nice that you care about my opinion about that stuff. And it's obviously the most pressing question right now I'm gonna get. But the problem is I have no fucking clue. I have no clue. I am the worst content creator.
想抓一手必须的2楼一个常规的小套路，
It should be chaos.
对，有点近。
现在这个版本呢，这种
视野削弱的技能确实是有点尴尬的。
有点一般。
Honestly, Pacific probably are the favorites. They have 3. I think in terms of favorites, I think you go in terms of region, Pacific, and NA or Americas, and then EMEA, and then China. In terms of like, because I think that I think there's 3 very solid teams. 2.5. Like, Fury is the first seed. I question obviously some of the experience and stuff, and so like there's a little bit of doubt there. EMEA is like you have 2 teams that like have very little experience, but obviously BBO could absolutely do it. Gentleman's I'd be a little bit more surprised, but can do it. And then Liquid, I'd be very surprised. So it's like I think it just goes down like that, you know. Right now from watching China, I think that I'd be the most surprised for sure. It comes down to like if EDG just randomly just decide to be really good,
要卡的比较好才行。
轻重
or like like these teams just pop the fuck off in terms of firepower.
会拉出来吗？他其实在等队友，他 pick 出来，对墙出现了。
Oh, have you reviewed BBL Pro? Siggy said he can't play Pro, but BBL coach said Pro is their best map. EMEA in general cannot play Pro, but that doesn't literally mean every team can't play Pro. I think that when I watched Gentlemates, they had a pretty good grasp on Pro, and then BBL beat them. So I didn't actually. That's the only map I've not watched yet. I'll go back and watch that map at some point. But the problem is I didn't want to spend 3 days in a row VOD reviewing, and I didn't want to VOD review a 16-14 game yesterday. I didn't have time.
那这样子的话，边线的人被解决掉之后，中路想要挂绳上来，但还有优爪配合到东妹有侧身。
Mate's played America's Pro pretty much. I still see America's. I don't know what America's Pro looks like right now, honestly.
而且你可以看到这分 A 2楼铁板的站位是做了调整的，在那个长枪分失利之后，他们立马就去改。
Pacific have a more than 70% chance to win Santiago.
以及 A 铁板
It's not that unreasonable.
给踩住了，因为对手是别喜欢
It's probably no. That is unreasonable. That is unreasonable. Just if you know how percentages work, that's unreasonable. I know what you mean though. To say they're like the favorite region or something, and maybe easily the favorite region is fine. 70% is mental though, because that's just not how odds work. Like that's crazy. Like even like if you just broke it down in terms of like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like if you tried to guess what the odds were for the favorite at Santiago, it's gonna be like still like Fnatic going into Champs 2023 would have still been like 3-1 or something. See, 45% still means they're massively favorite. Like a 45% is massively favored for the tournament. You know, because there's 3 other regions. 70 plus is like mental. Although I do think China's chances are quite slim.
甚至 XLG 如果他愿意投资经济的话，他还有明局的存在。
我觉得最重要的就是开局的一个非常大的优势，那个晚焰火没有把握住。
对。
Dude, I think win Santiago. Like this is the problem. I had this question like literally 30 seconds ago, and I just explained I can't answer it.
没错，甚至有比现在前期的优势丧失掉之后，比分也被逐步的追赶上来，这个暂停还是蛮有必要的。加上这2分可能爆冷器没有怎么安，经济已经是拉开一定的差距了。
是。
China at 5% is still too low. Even though I don't think it happens, I think China 5% is too low. And I think America's 25% is too low, and EMEA probably 25% is too low. I think Furia has better odds than Liquid, yeah. I do think on Platchat I undersold Miniboo. Like Miniboo's back in absolute fucking neon form. And so I do feel sorry for him a little bit that I do just keep like kind of doubting him. But like I've always doubted his consistency, not his actual peak. Miniboo's peak is incredible, and he's playing peak form right now. That's the problem too. It's like he's in the Heretics vein of like players that when I think they're good, they underperform, and when I don't put too much stock on them, they perform. And I think that that might be the case with Miniboo too. But I can't lie, like he's been phenomenal with the Neon. He broke out of feeling pressure in Heretics. I think that too. The question now is being the 3rd seed in Team Liquid enough to not feel that pressure? I think it should be. Like, he shouldn't feel any pressure going into Santiago. But if they start thinking they're going to win, then there'll be pressure. I don't know if G2 are the favorites. I think realistically, Nongshim might be the favorites. I don't love promoting gambling, but I do wonder what the odds would be if you could. I wonder what the actual like betting odds would look like. I think they're usually quite a good metric for how like in almost an objective sense. You think Nongshim are the lowest APAC wise? You would put Paper X above them? Do you think people overvalue stats in this meta when ranking players, i.e. Danby versus Martine? I mean, you're comparing 2 players with literally some of the best stats in the world. What do you mean? What do you mean by that question? Both Martine and Danby have 2 of the highest stats in the world. Like, we're comparing 2 players with great stats. And it's arguable who's better. I don't really understand your point. I meant the sending player versus the cleanup player. I think that players that create space is fake narrative sometimes. I think that Danby does do it though, but I think that I would have to be critical of like historically players like Defo used to be called to be that player, Miniboo's been told to be that player, and Jogamo has been apparently that player. When I watch someone like Jogamo, genuinely I think sometimes he's just making mistakes. And I think that like this whole idea that like he's a selfless entry is not. I see mistakes a lot of the time. Get APAC cock out of your mouth, right? That's a yellow card. Like, why are you being like that? That's just. Holy APAC plays like Americans didn't win the last event. Bro, NRG won. Yeah, sure. I don't... Like... I don't... That's some mental illness right now. Honestly. Imagine getting angry because I said APAC might be favorites for the tournament. I have no dog in this game at all. Like I have no dog in that race. The irony here is that it's better for your teams if people like me are saying that APAC are favorites. It's better for Americas. Because these idiots read comments and then people get pressured. Yeah, NRG, the team that scraped the 3rd seed from Americas, won the last tournament, and the team that came 2nd isn't even qualified to Santiago. And there's a whole meta shift, but no. I apparently have some heavy bias for Pacific. Like Americas can win. Like I said, this tournament's impossible to guess, but realistically, I think Pacific have the most amount of chances. They have Nongshim as the kind of like new dark horse team with Danby, and then they've got T1 and PaperX, 2 very experienced teams. Isn't that a reasonable take? I can't predict G2 to win it again and then just be fucked over. I'm done with predicting G2. So I'm giving them like the reverse curse. Yeah, I can't say, this is the thing, I can't say G2 because I want them to actually play quite well. If I say G2, they won't. Whenever it's a big game, Leaf always underperforms. I'm gonna actually fact check. Fact checking. True. Not true. Not true. Meh. Not true. I TLDR, not true. The grand finals of Bangkok, I do not take any stock in. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but there was clearly things happening. You know, he publicly stated that there were some things that were happening which affected his performance, which completely valid. Big games or limb games or top 4 above. Bro, all of those teams were like ludicrously. I'm not. If that was true, your sample size is like 2. Your sample size is like 2 from last year. And I think it was like not true. Hey Anders, how you doing? Do you use data analytics like Python scripts? No. I talked about this yesterday. Like, I'm someone who's curious about data, but doesn't pretend that I know much about data. And my curiosity meant that when I was starting to look at data stuff, I probably dipped a little bit in terms of like, because when you start using data a little bit, like you fuck up and you're an idiot. And I think now, like the way that I've used it, like it's helped my coaching a little bit, you know. But at the start, like I did definitely use it wrong and stuff. I think nowadays, like I'm not the guy who's I'm more like the kind of person who's gonna ask other people questions about how stuff works. I'm not the kind of person who's gonna give you like I could never be a data analyst for a team, for instance, you know. The Breeze upload. I look forward to seeing it. I remember seeing the smoke at middle you were doing. That's the only thing I remember seeing. Like you flashed something once and I was like, oh, that smoke at middle looks kind of interesting. It made a lot of sense. Okay, right. Let's lock back in a little bit. Let's try and lock back in a little bit. Nice buff for design, continuity, quality of life. There's nothing for his, nothing in terms of his viability. Anders, do you think that because my literal instinct take when I saw it was that it didn't really do anything. Like I think the conceptually is a really cool idea, but in practice it doesn't really do much. Only on maps where it was already kind of strong, and strong is kind of relative because obviously it's not very strong anyway. Does it seem like you would be able to cycle mosh pits even effectively anyway? Yeah. Like on Icebox, I think you could actually cycle 3 on attack. On Unbind, you might be able to. But if Waylay's still strong and Yoru's still strong or whatever, then I guess you wouldn't play it. But if you, the problem with buying showers default is if you throw the molly into showers, you have to go into showers and pick it up, which is not what you want to do, really. Sleepers? Yeah, I've heard that they're pretty good. I remember Jade talking about them. The new rankers, basically. Yeah, I mean, at some point, maybe. I think there's too much good Valorant for me to watch right now to go to them yet. B main control. Spinbot's become like a conditioning tool. What has made them go for here? I don't know. I'd like to see them bait this orb before they did stuff again. Like I think that because they smoke and then they dog, I like to see this orb baited a little bit more. And instead they're just dogging through, dog is dead again. And now they can't actually scale through, they have to use nade in vents. And they've used smoke, dog, nade, and they're still behind the orb. I think it's pretty poor micro from AG. Luckily, there is nobody here, so it looks fine. But again, like the story of AG to me is just inefficiency to me. I think that at Santiago, they're going to have a very hard time against teams who notice how inefficient some of these ideas are and some of this util is. And they're just going to get fucking slapped in the face, honestly. After you've watched a bit of AG, do you think the community's overhyped them? Did the community think they're really good? In terms of strategy, they are right now probably the weakest team I've watched in terms of like actually sitting down and watching. I think all 3 EMEA teams, bar Team Liquid, because like Team Liquid will be better, but they obviously did the gimmick for Fnatic in terms of like they had no practice. But I think all the EMEA teams are better in terms of strategic stuff. When I watch Americas, like obviously I would expect G2 to be better, NRG to be better. Furia, I've not watched enough of. All gamers can still win. But like they can still beat these teams and still win games and stuff, but like they are behind a lot. Both macro and micro is a little bit iffy. There's a lot of fundamental stuff that just looks wrong. Like even like yeah, like that you can see the thinking, but it's eco. Okay, it's eco. I don't care. They're gonna go in. Like XLG played a much more interesting game of Pearl, I think, than AG did. I don't remember all the XLG's like theory stuff, but at least in terms of like understanding how to use Astra and Yoru, they were a lot better. I don't think there will be a lot of Harbor Santiago. I think the most hopeful team we have for who might pick up Harbor will be Energy. Like, if one team would do it, I think Energy would be. Given Bonker's comments in the past about liking Harbor, and like their Abyss stuff and stuff like that, and the fact that like they're kind of coming in as a bit battle scarred, I guess.
那这样子的话暴露两个人的站位了已经。
我感觉这个小车拿到的信息很赚。
对，
主要是当时 Leo 不敢。
I mean, yeah, I don't think Team Liquid is a good reference point here. Yeah, they barely they yeah.
挡到队友 Raga 的一个枪线。
Yeah.
这个中路电梯房其实是一个很危险的位置。
I think NRG is possible though. For a few maps, maybe.
本盖尔其实是猜到了留一手的位置，直接非常精准的预瞄，强行拉出。
中路这个烟你想要封的满的话，就会。
I have generally been impressed by how quick some stuff was implemented at times. Like, Teo was obviously busted last year, but teams didn't have as much time as in the past to implement stuff. It wasn't the best, but like, at least teams did, I guess. So I can see NRG maybe doing Harbor. I don't think any other team would though. Am I just watching mid default to a game? Okay, so at least this time they bait the orb out. They get the orb. Now the smoke comes in. You can go through the smoke a lot easier than the orb. So at this point, we can smoke up, do the dog, and run through. Or even abuse the crap smoke and kill the omen. Honestly, at this point, I think it's probably a pretty easy call to say that Vents guy's dead. You could probably just go B split. Probably just know it's just 2B. Rather than smoking up and wasting a smoke and taking ages. See what I said earlier about the B main control, whether this Viper is actually going to pull back into like a line back here. I think it's early and it's not the best position because he can't help the fade, and the fade is like not committed, and they can't really crossfire the same. It's a bit broken, but the thinking's there a little bit, I guess. I don't know why AG are doing. Like, it's 5v4, we don't need to cook. Just go B split or something. Like, if just go do something together. Viper ult in spawn. It's kind of cool. It gets the whole site. It's kind of interesting. I think I saw like maybe Zelsis do this before or someone. Some American team, I think. Quite like it. That's like a reactive ult. It's pretty cool. Like if you get the ult mid round, it's kind of a nice idea. Does this Yoru die or something? How does it go 2v2? Oh, what is he doing? What's Raga doing? Did he not? What? I don't think that's acceptable. What? Can you analyze MIB energy? I will, but not right now.
会过来断，直接把人断掉。那这一分 XLG 也是稳稳拿下。
要不要回去减狙沟通一下？
思考。应该不减了，直接拆。
Higher elevate, higher is better on small maps. We can affect both sides with the wall. I haven't actually tested him on many maps, really. Both sides at once. Which maps can you do that on? I mean, Haven, you can get the wall to go across 2 sides, but it's not really that valuable, I don't think. In terms of like
特别好，
being able to cover
我觉得还是
both.
步枪可能会更加灵活一些，尤其是他们选择最近几波都
Or
是
maybe I'm wrong, I don't know.
抓单边嘛，狙我觉得双决斗的协同可能能够更给到变现一些压力。
对，现在我觉得玩的最难受一个 AU 啊，就这个位置2个决斗，一个用不紧刺来，对吧？一个速流回光来抓他，我觉得这个对于 AU1 来说，这个边线你根本就没有办法往前站更多步。
关键你回蛇这张地图大概率就是控 AY 的。
那对，
那对方过来抓你，你被
Oh. As long as you play mid on Happy, you should be able to. Oh. Okay, I misunderstood. I misunderstood. Sorry, I really misunderstood. I was thinking about something completely different. So once again, we see the fast dash strat. Boombot again being used deep, and then probably nade again deep. Yeah. Or is he actually nading vents this time? I think the nade vents is better. Their split right now isn't great, and a lot of it I think comes down to the fact that because they can never pressure mid effectively. Because they can never pressure mid effectively, it's like, why would the defense care about mid almost to some degree? Their execs haven't looked amazing either.
现在的火力还是非常的丰沛的。
我觉得这把 AG 最可惜的是没有解决到 AY 的问题。
哦，其实这分是有做一些调整的。
They're even a step behind.
可以看到
Again, once again, dog dead. Dog dead. Orb goes up. Pointless. This is the problem. Like, if you're playing Sky, you got 1 dog. You can't be doing shit like this. You can't be dogging and getting it broken, and then an orb comes up. You're just wasting. You're just wasting. Like, Sky is pointless now. Such a waste. AG allows dogs to die. Crazy. They're in the site faster though. Why have XLG? Why XLG? What? You got B main control and they're playing 3 middle. Don't really understand. Oh, they missed the reveal. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. As soon as that, yeah. And the fact that he's Leo's decision, the real Leo would never do this. One and done spot with no support. The real Leo would be playing around here at most. Okay. I'm not even gonna watch the run this round. I like that they switched it up and down because no motherfucker could do the no one knew which side to pick. Up and down makes a lot more sense. It's pretty cool. Live graphic. Alpha would play there, really. Alpha, we give him like, what's it called? What's it called when factories produce like objects, but then they know there's gonna be like 15% like wastage or something. Like Alpha's like got that 15% in him, you know. Like we accept that they're 15% of the time Alpha's gonna play something stupid, and that's fine. And then I would pretend to be angry with him, but I kind of knew deep down that he was a good enough player to know to like not take my advice fully seriously. Yeah, defects, yeah. What's your take on XRG versus AG's overall power level and meta positioning? Anders Pearl, the entire time I was flaming AG and praising XLG. Like, I wasn't praising XLG the entire time, but I was using XLG to, like, I basically was able to explain to chat how Astra conditioning works and how Yoru should be played because AG didn't do it very well and XLG were doing it well. And so, like, it just felt like XLG were the far more fundamentally sound team in terms of just basic strategy. AG just played like a Pearl where you could just draw a line across the map like that, and they would never do anything like in front of it. And it was just like, okay, I don't think this is working. I think AG was quite poor.
上来的话，AG 的落位是来到了一个3A 的重防，B区以拖为主，BO1只能拖2个，这个技能可以直接攻到每个侧身的枪线。
I don't think XOG were like, you know, it wasn't like XOG were like mind blowing me or anything. And I think part of the reason why XOG look better is because of the fundamentals that Hoya as a coach will have from, you know, being an IGO and EMEA for like, you know, as long as he was. But I was also trying to explain to chat that that also doesn't mean anything. Like all of this doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, if Shrimp and Fangir decide to shrimp it up, then who cares? But it is obviously worrying long term. I didn't watch this round at all. So fast, so fast. A main. So what is Viper on B side? Is Viper trying to play with a one-way orb or something? But he's got Ghost. Yeah, he's got a one-way orb. I don't think a one-way orb with no spit and no Astra is ever going to do anything against the Whaler. So I think a bit of a waste. Oh, it's not. It's just a full orb. I mean, they have a raise nade, so they could isolate this guy, I guess. But they don't. This smoke's becoming more popular. Don't know how I feel about it. I think I prefer it to this smoke, but I don't know. I don't know if I even look. What are they doing? 5v4. 5v4. I think they just chill. Honestly, I probably just want my players to pull back here and just have these three just like re-clear the vents. They've got pistols, they can't get sprayed down. I think I just re-clear the vents together. And then properly clear. You 5v4 with 2 on B. I guess the 5v4 only happened now, but I'd probably want them to pull back now. Just play for retake, but that's not. It's almost a dirty word at this point. People don't like the R word, the retake word. I think if you crop what I said, then that would sound very sus, but. How do AG look? Not the best. Not the best. And it's like I would usually agree with the analysis about like going straight into the bracket, but BBO, man, like I think the problem is that like something Pansy was talking about is as soon as BBO look like they're in position to do what they're doing, that we should have like had so much content around them, try and get as much camera footage on them as like try and build this team up. Like people don't know enough about this team. Like the story and narrative around them is too good to have not built up. And I think part of that story is like how ludicrously confident they are. And there is a chance that like they go and like they lose a game and like get knocked, but like I've never seen a team with as much confidence as them, honestly. Like it's strange. It's very strange. It's scary, I guess. It is very spooky. The big question is just if they lose a game, how does that go? But I think they're gonna be fine. Isn't it kind of hard to build content around this since they only speak Turkish? Nope. Most of them have functional English, and the things they say are so content pilled that like they could be saying it in Turkish and you're still going to get absolute aura. I'm not believing BBL will win, but I'm saying that they're one of the teams that will be scary. I should watch their voice comms vid. Yeah, I should. I saw they translated it. I will do that at some point. Who's the biggest prospect for tier 2? I don't know. I've not had to think about the less I'm involved with teams on that level of like roster construction, the less I've paid attention to tier 2. And so I couldn't I don't have a list anymore, honestly. Sop, I mean Sop is tier 1. Sop is tier 1. Like he's not tier 2. He's in a tier 1 team. He's just not old enough to play. Sorry, I'm just skipping around because I didn't actually watch. Eco, we're skipping Eco. Let's get back to a gun round. There's just I don't like AG's defenses. Like this is fine. There's nothing technically wrong with what they're doing, really. I don't think this angle is probably very good. Looks like a very dodgy angle to me. But it's just always, you can just always draw a line on the map. It's weird to watch a team from China not want to fight anything. Like the flash has seen nothing and we're rotating towards the flash. We just don't. It's like, no, there's nothing interesting. Fanger's opening probably the worst position on the map. And now our weak side is an Omen and an Operator player. Why is our Viper rotating this way and not rotating this way? What I don't like I said earlier, like this is the kind of team where like I would be rubbing my hands together if I was like looking for a consulting job. There's so much like stuff you could just easily just give them like just small things for. Gecko gets the kill through the smoke. Goes again.
并且有影是没丢位置的，给了个隔断烟之后，冯盖尔再来到了阳台的附近。游玩被打倒之后，高瑞奇的补速度很快，左边再有人过来，阳台的有影是。
Is they why are they so scared of this smoke? This smoke kind of helps. I feel like it. I'd feel quite happy as an attacker coming here, just getting the plant down, having some guys stand in it to protect, and then just running away. I think. Yeah, XOG qualified to Santiago, I think.
最后的民居再完成收尾，
这个中路太近，必须藏关键的效果。
很强的。对，这波他拿了个防守分之后啊，打的可以更加轻松从容一点。哎，这个闪给的很完美，但是拿了个防守分之后啊，打的可以更加轻松从容一点。哎，这个闪。
Why Snowman got his classic out?
拿了个防守分之后啊，打的可以更加轻松从容一点，且。 对，这波他的技能和站位都没什么问题，而且在拿了个防守分之后啊，打的可以更加轻松从容一点。哎，这个闪给的很完美，但是 Noman 没有办法把这个闪化为最终实质性的。
That's quite nice. The flood with the orb, kind of cool. Obviously a bit lucky that no one's just stood there watching him, but. Maybe he thought he had a shorty. Maybe. Maybe. Fanger's opening again, and he's got ult. Got Viper ult too. I mean, it is lowish buy. This position should be pretty decent in general, I think, against. I don't know, the way they should check it actually. Shouldn't the way they check it? Oh, the Fade Prowler's fucked him. That's like that kind of exec is like the 1 second difference between it going like this and it actually being an alright exec. I feel like it was like 1 second away from being fine. I actually thought he won that. Dog being used to re-clear. To get the line again. Yoru ult being used. He's got way ult, so he needs to chill a little bit. The dog, ideally we want the dog now to retake, but they've already used it. How are they gonna do this? Because you could dog ramp right now and then just where they ult off dog contact. Viper ult doesn't actually help the plant, but it does give a lot of space. Viper ults on this side of the map do feel a bit weird. Like there's not. Sometimes I don't know what the best Viper ult is. Okay. He's really ulted outside of the ult. I think ideally you want to clear. You probably want to clear this and then just ult the Viper ult and defuse. Maybe there is a little gap here for this spike. Yeah. I think it looks like there is a little gap.
是被石棍上了场啊！他在被攻的情况下秒了2个，那这一张地图这一个回合是由海培维打了个收尾。
I think that Jewel is one of the best selfless entries to touch the game, but I do also think that, you know, the same with Durka as one of the best selfless entries. I think both of them still do make, you know, it's hard not to, but sometimes it is like, okay, you didn't need to do that, you know. I think they both have that. It's almost like the byproduct of being so selfless. But I do think there is a next layer that they could add to both their games, where it's like, if they aren't in situations where they have the kind of second duelist backup, there are going to be instances where I'm a bit annoyed by the way they entry.
一喷带走，哇，对于 AG 来说现在有点雪上加霜。
好的收拾。
XLG 现在还是心里感觉已经
I mean, that's quite nice. That's one way to deal with the Viper Orb,
逐渐开始
is play whale it.
带走，哇，对于 AG 来说现在有点雪上加霜。
这纯是抓你的落位习惯了。
啊，
特意买的一把判官也起到了。
Ignore all the micro considerations of having to go through the orb. Just dash through it.
我感觉得用。
Nice reaction here. Okay, this is what annoys me though. Look, we've dogged out for a whaler. Nice. We have full info. We even have info here. Nothing B. Nothing A. Why is this player moving? Why is he moving? What is he doing? It's a 5v4, sure. You're looking for it's a 4v5. You're looking for some kind of advantage. But why is it our solo mid player walking into the question mark that is moving? And like, what is going on? He also has ult, by the way. It makes no sense. I hope he gets kills. I hope he gets kills. He doesn't. So stupid.
这个大招可能你追击的距离没有特别远的机会了。
挂单香烟，高瑞奇需要去拿到 B 场的掌控权，去强控一下。但 XLG
It should just be this guy holds this line. This guy probably just rotates, and then just stack. It's probably just the easiest solution here. And just pray they don't just silent ult behind you here.
要去打反清。高瑞奇是有暗眼的，他有暗眼有 TP， 应该可以回到比较安全的位置。
照了一下鬼眼，哎，但这鬼眼没照出来。
对，直接躲的，直接往后撤。
JJ is more like when he has a judge. I think JJ is the best like judge entry in the world. Like, and it's not so much selfless as I'm going to actually kill them with a judge.
看到 TP 躲开吗？虽然没有能够躲开，但也拉开了距离。
第二时间玩焰火。
What is what? Hello? What?
对于 XLG 来说，转点应该是很困难了。
还要等吗？玩焰火轰过了，躲开就行。第二时间再去做反清。
没技能了他只能去强行跳了。
Okay. The ult decision there was a little bit strange, but better than not using it, I guess.
我觉得太慢了，一直在等，而且也没有去消耗对手的技能。每次在对手接一波的时候，
Will I ever do VFL? I get really stressed doing anything like that. I don't even do like I just get stressed. I just can't be bothered.
放了一个玩焰火，又一个点。对，而且我觉得他没玩焰火的时候，反而打的会更激进一点啊，就没有一些顾虑。看一下
A 点好像又被堵到边了。
对，瞬跑想过，直接。
It does look like fun though.
然后踩雷，对，就而且我觉得他没玩。
Again, like even like I get like setting up passive because the team might actually just like all in on you is like I get it, but like not. It's so rare for them to do anything, and it is anti-eco, I guess. Like even this, like what are we doing? Playing stairs.
对，瞬跑想过，直接被他点住，然后踩雷被点打了个中格。
那后续我有人还是要破这个点位，但是每个人邻居依旧存在，缺了一个，而且 Kira 对面点，
并且这个回合 XLG 还要面对对手的玩意。
We don't have anything on the map. Ever. We never have anything. We never had anything on Pro. We never have anything on Split.
焰火 Kira 在最近这2分展现出了雷兹利用的统治力啊，有点太夸张了。
We're not playing a comp that allow like if we're playing like a bunker style comp, then sure, like I think it's fine. But like this comp has we have some shit.
那对于 XLG 来说，选择似乎还是每个
It's weird.
各自去拿一些信息为主。
I'm kind of bored,
也是拿到了 round
honestly.
但夜路其实是很灵活的，他自己第一手这个 B 点的加霸这个 B
感觉这一波如果打 B2楼的话 ，Kira 的发挥局啊，
来了，晚焰火装在。
He's got ult again.
追能追到吗？看到了面前有。
He's got ult again.
他肯定走不掉了。但这一分 AG 好像猜对
I mean, given they've got an op and an ult, that's like the only excuse I give. But like round by round, it's like they never do anything.
似乎真要往 A 点这个方向去走了。但是没有 Happy 维的话，这第一个过点其实会有一些风险。
Go next, please. Pacific or EMEA.
有点危险。
幻影的直接传射也会让进攻方吃尽苦头啊，在最
而且各级能站出来 ，Kira 就了一个存钱分。是。
I said I was doing it every region, every finals.
拿到这张地图的盘点，出手了。
哎，这一分粉格尔好像想操作，想去抓，狙好像吃了腿了。不过 AU1 是粉格尔的保镖 ，No 想
拿到这张地图的盘点，出手了。
哎，这一分粉格尔好像想操作，想去抓，狙好像吃了腿了。不过 AU1 是粉格尔。
It's eco. I don't care.
因为比赛
前分给 A 连追了4分。
对常规内时间内的最后一回合。
The most aggressive thing has just been this peak.
分的话 ，XOG 手上的底牌还是蛮多的。
法抓杆直接带走了，
而且飞2楼了，2楼
底牌还是蛮多的。
的最后一回合。
Look how close he was to dying.
但这一分的话，XOG 手上的底牌还是蛮多的。
法抓杆直接带走了，
而且飞2楼了，2楼有把明确的存在，鬼眼应该会顺秒掉。看一下粉格尔选择是跳回1楼。
A1把2楼给了，这个玩法有点意思。叶灵直接笼罩点内，但效果好像比较一般。A2楼的位置现在完全被
They're not. They got no control.
XLG 控着，但是 Shimp 的角度还
That's crazy.
对手 Shimp 换掉了一个，
They had to go this way, surely.
现在双方出现了一个非常混乱的人数互换，光能闪爆，再加一个障云，把能得看。
踩住2楼这分。
Open plant and ramp control. Like they've like this is part of the reason why, right? Like is if you let attack have this and they get open plant, you've lost like instantly.
处理。而这个障云会成为 AG 回防最大的阻碍。
关键2楼阳台的这个角度有点绝杀呀，直接断炮，取得神器。那现在
But Happy Way, why is Happy Way peeking? Like I understand there's an orb here, but this is a win condition.
成为 AG 回防最大的阻碍。
Like these two players, their job is to delay as much as possible. They shouldn't be giving AG a clean fight at all. I guess Kira is satchelled fucking out though, so it's fair enough really. I think Happy Way fucks up though. That's crazy to lose that round. Heaven control, open plant, Viper orb CT. AG qualifying a case not being good or a sign of China falling off. I honestly, if the meta was different, I don't know if the answer would be different. I think they are shooting their guns better than XRG probably. But the XRG, like, I think the easy stuff in VOD review, where like looking at these very broad things and not watching XRG look better at the broad stuff. There might be stuff like the little stuff, like the micro stuff that like XRG are fucking up on maybe consistently, and it's maybe just as egregious. But the stuff that I'm looking at big picture XRG are usually better at. But like when they, I don't know when they scale if they're actually doing good utility and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Paper X have more. The paper like BBL have 3 heavy fraggers. Arguably their 3 might match with Paper X's other like highest 3 potentially. There may even be an argument that they've got 3 that are better. I don't know if I believe that. But across the 5, I would agree that Paper X's firepower is better. Okay, I'm gonna go for one more. And then I'm gonna call it. Because I'm hungry. 13-7, XLG. Happy way. Okay. It ends up just being defense. Their defense sucks. Their defense really sucks. All Gamers' defenses are ass. Even like maps where I'm not watched, they're not winning defense rounds. Pro, they won 11, and I thought their defense was awful. Like, all Gamers have a defense problem, for sure. I haven't watched. I saw that ace. Yes, I did see the ace. Every team in China has a defense problem. Yeah, but I think all Gamers might be like it's the first time I thought maybe I should phone this team up at some point. Like maybe I should actually pitch. If I wasn't working for Zay, I'd be straight on the phone to Mr. All Gamers. It's so. I mean, okay, 131. It's kind of a pistol that's become a bit more popular, but it's a specific read against teams that just send it, which China generally does, but ironically XRG aren't. Free showers control means they're going to end A. They have a nice little A split set up. It wouldn't have hurt them to do maybe a little bit of pressure on B, but it's fine. They are running into a 3-man stack. Strange decision to start the Yoru TP on A, considering we have 4 people ready. Pistol, we could see them push through. Okay, good clearance. Nice from all Gamers. Instant TP. Why the fuck have we rotated 5 people? What is Viper doing? It's almost like unironically, like every protocol is just it's off. I guess it is a 5v4, so risk is being taken. But they should now lose the round. Elbow control taken, long control taken, open plant. Lysor doesn't have Brim Molly is the only factor here.
通过回旋跳
其实威胁挺大的。
哦，是的，蛮危险的其实。但 Raga 忍住了，没选择开枪。
因为如果听到是 A 站的话，就几乎不会有人在看了。
啊，刚才回旋跳估计也看到了。那第一波 B 场先拿住。
宝点时间被拖掉一个。
时空跳跃。OK， 还是很大胆的。
但你可以看一下 A， 他们就是
看一下。
They stacked the right side.
Raga 他需要搜的点其实有点多。等到队友到了，看到了，已经要过来追，能追到吗？追。
But they fought too early and died.
上来第一波。
Okay.
清一下浴室，直接鬼眼掷出来，但鬼眼是被瞬间秒掉。
Brim Molly to consolidate showers control.
强行去抢这个浴室的。
我感觉这个技能交换，其实 XLG 还是赚了一些。燃烧榴弹是 AG 在 A 点防守拖延的一个很关键的技能。
Our Yoru once again being used as a passive jet. Oh wait, actually, I lied. I lied.
先清一下浴室，直接鬼眼掷出来，但鬼眼是被瞬间秒掉，而且高瑞奇给到了一个燃烧榴弹的情况下
The TP seems premature.
抢这个浴室的。
我感觉这个技能交换，其实 XLG 还是赚了一些。燃烧榴弹是 AG 在 A 点防守拖延的一个很关键的技能。
I basically just never see all gamers do the interesting thing. They never choose the interesting option strategically.
这一招 AG 在浴室是打出来了。
对 ，Kira 是直接先打一个。
Shrimp has used all his util already. As a fade at 1 minute 05.
对于 XLG 来说，少了一个 Raga 的闪情况下，后续进点的过程中，其实
硬着头皮进了。
I don't know if that's because he only had one Prowler, but his timings weren't exactly awful. It's just it's something to note overall, you know.
而光能闪爆直接给到了一个点后，但 AU1 躲得非常的及时。独木拉起来的平枪 ，AU1 能先接2个人，高接低档，非常的及时。运气比
诺曼反杀了。
独木落下可能要拼反应了。
诺曼反杀了。
反手没死。
Bit stupid. I think honestly, if I was Yoru, I'd get under window right now. I think under window is so good. Maybe not as good against his dash though. This entire time, why is there not being a TP either? Could they not have? They're hard clearing lamps. Shouldn't these two just... it's kind of rough because they can't really TP together because then they just TP back. But they're so far away, man. They're so far away. It's just eco. I was gonna say they look like they're doing something aggressive, but it's an eco. How the Chinese teams looking? Can they make a deep run? All gamers are thoroughly unimpressing me with their defense. Their defense sides need a lot of work. Player quality is still decent, but it's not like their defense side is rough. They don't really understand how to use the Yoru. And their Astra play is quite bad on Pro. They just never... You can draw a line on every map where the barriers are, and they're always going to be like next to it or behind it. There's never anything interesting going on. They're playing honestly. It's almost like watching 2020 Valorant, like the way that they set up.
对，是的，然后不敢一波打到底，万一 Kira 第一时间到了，他们这个抱团很容易被直接一个大招炸完。
而且诺曼这样的话，自己手上技能是几乎交空了。
I remember you watching the exact same round from a tier 2 VOD and say something about Lord of the Rings. Aragorn not responded. No, it's not Aragorn. It's Gondor calls for aid.
这只能看边线了。
手下产生了。
And Rohan will answer. But in this case, Rohan ain't answering shit.
对，那这样子的话
Rohan's fucking sat there doing nothing.
往里面走，有叶灵笼罩一下点内，看一下 Shiv 第一点位的架枪没有能够架住，而且燃烧榴弹也烫死了 AU1。
那 B 区又成功破点了，剩下两个人应该是要选择保。
Does this meta demand less creativity from game plans? I mean, it's really hard to describe, but like, there needs to be. You can't play behind this line and just like do nothing. There needs to be creative usage of your util and stuff. Like Wele is a saturate bot, and if you don't even have saturate, you know, protocols or moves, then
难再掰回来，或者再起第二把 Q 了。
是，并且
Rohan
总体来说，现在这个
Kishibe.
技能的循环已经慢慢
I don't know what JoJo is. I'm not
这个
an anime person.
总体来说，在后续的防守还是会有非常多的变数跟压力的。
其实这分 AD
Like you're playing double duelist, you need some proactivity. You need to go shoot your gun.
在，但不
All gamers are playing not to shoot their gun.
还地方太少了。
但我觉得有两个，
保下了两。
明居在 B 场，
Okay, an interesting idea, at least.
然后 TP 过来，
Nothing there, TP back to
配合
B.
鬼一个很经典的传统器明居。
It's only ever when they have low buy that they ever do anything that's vaguely interesting.
SLG 在浴室外是没有站人的。第一波直接过来飞，拿下 B 场的掌控权。Vangear 依旧有明居。
但是现在对于 A 的，
啊，
而作为守方来说，摇摆是一定没有进攻方来这
哎，
么快的。
用反击套路。
爪加玩一火吗？看一下点内直接给到了一个天机光束来清位置，而第一时间还没有选择去近点。Vangear 这把明居有一个直加的机会，先狙了一个，而高瑞奇也是直接被打掉。两边在做
Oh, it's a nice shot.
幸福也接住了，而2楼的位置 Kira 又玩
Ult
焰火，有没有什么
Ult
说法？玩焰火要装弹吗？
Surely?
看一下
Why is there not an ult?
直接爆了，没有什么说后互换。
Even here, like,
直加的机会先狙了一个，而高瑞奇也是直接被打掉。两边在做互
there, at that situation, I'm ulting.
换，幸福也接住了，而2楼的位置 Kira 又玩焰火，有没有什么说法？玩焰火要装弹吗？
Here, I'm probably
看一
ulting.
下，这个
I didn't know you could spam this. He's getting spammed so hard.
直接爆了，没有
Yeah, they.
出手的机会。明居第一局没有能够
Kira could have won the red.
上的也没有子弹
Decided not to.
在扣出，
为了阵型还有一些转机。
对，主要他枪太劣势了。
太犹豫，
但现在终于是又来到长枪分，
直接飞过来，
我撞到
嗯
伤口上了。
而且 Vangear 还 TP 走了。
这个飞的也确实太近了。
主要还是没想到对面是这样的一个落
It's
位。
always rotations through there.
诺曼先
Always.
整个 XO 级的进攻节奏是有是要
在对，其实会
看一下这个
踢走了。
踢走了，那现在只能守小黑屋。
I've not seen a single push out
玩焰火来，
in
玩焰火能找到吗？先清。
all 3 maps. I saw it once, maybe on split, one time on A main.
这有点尴尬。
我炸了一些黑
In 3 maps of defense, to not have a single pusher is kind of egregious.
还是往 A 点去的，这个包应该是能下。
有燃烧榴弹，有燃烧榴弹，烫死了，没下了。
时间不够了。
这一分只要救活 AG 就能拿到分数。
哦哟，
That's nasty.
有燃烧榴弹，有燃烧榴弹，烫死了，没
下不
下
了了
成。，
时间不够了。
这一分
So clean, man.
AG 就能拿到分数。
哦哟，但 Raga 其实个人能力也兜了3个回合。
So clean.
说不定还要被对方全部打完。
I don't have a tier list for Santiago. No, I think I'll go fucking.
在局势的慢之下撞到对面的玩焰火。
That's not what I said. It's not that I don't look like a fraud underestimating a team.
在这样你纯慢的情况下来说，他的技能是没有任何的消耗的。进点之后，各种的伤害的技能扑到地上，包一直按。
Is that like
但我觉得对于 AG
it's honestly a bit like why I don't want to do VFL. It's because it would stress me out. Honestly, doing the predictions for Santiago will stress me out. I wouldn't be. I'd have to use my brain a lot more than I am right now. I'd lose sleep. I'd honestly lose sleep trying to predict Santiago. Top 10 players. I need to do it for Plat Chat. Plat Chat need a list. And so on the weekend, I'll probably do one. The problem is obviously a lot of it's still going to be stats based because I'm not able to like sit there and like watch every single player as much as I want. But who's number 1 player right now? I mean, top 15 lists are lists of players you think will do well at the event, right? But at the very moment, it's like players like Martin, you know, like Danby. Will your list include Chinese players? It's tough because, like, whilst I don't expect China to do very well, and that impacts the view on them after the tournament. I think it would be quite hard to not have Happy Way in the list from the stats. Okay. Aggression on short. Aggression and showers. Had TP on the same side as he was on. What? I got a judge, but what? Is this really the duel we want to take with a judge? Probably not, guys. Just go hooker. Just go play hooker. Like, it's not that deep. Do you like the Chinese UI? Looks fine to me. I don't remember the differences between this and the other one. It looks pretty good. I don't have any complaints. I don't think. I think that the problem with Furia is that, like, in order for Furia to do extremely well, Koala has to go like nuclear, I think. And I think that I'd rather bet on that. If you like, EU might even be more consistently better, potentially. I don't know. But even if that was the case, if we look back on the tournament and Furia does well, it's probably because Koala Noob did really well. Color's kind of dry. What do you mean? What do you mean? Isn't that partly true for Mets given how ridiculous Martin's performance has been? That's not really what. It's not really what I mean. Mates have Mini and Martin. Like, to me, both those players might make it. Okay, this is rough to watch, honestly.
是把别贵啊，太，我觉得全
光是有
还有玩的，那对
49
好，TP 走了，直接回速，但诺曼这个状态
能点得出来回速已经算不错了，
对，
体量很弹。
但这一分必尝是有给烟的，所以能够猜到
Standard Viper orbs up.
有人在顶。
先混，没有能够混到任何的收益，
Why?
先混，没有能够
How's that ping 3 people?
找到2个位置，但是这个
Do we really need info there? Probably
来
not.
说比较重测的一个区域了。
哦，而且是回到了安全的位置，并且有机会给到更多烟幕，这样子提速被混死了，
丢了个燃烧榴弹，但付出的代价是这条命。强行进来，天际光束直接定位在点内，右边的位置已经完全被清掉，但是迅
I like the idea from Fangir here. He's just using flashes on timings that he thinks are coming out of smokes.
光束给了，但人没进
A
点
bit unlucky.
那这样子
5秒的时间，
还是有些尴尬，在做人数上的互换 v a n g e r 在点内去做硬扛，被穿了一枪。
Happened again where someone gets a frag on this box over the top of the site. Well, actually, it happened here. It's kind of funny that it happened twice.
去了 Ragar， 这位置能够拿到更多的信息。
现在看一下 Kira 在点内 ，Kira 在点内要去找 timing， 找到了，先抓了一个，但是他不知道 Raga 到底在哪个位置撕了面具。23秒的时间可以 TP 去转点 AU， 完全变成1v2的残局。
OK， 声音完全没听到，感觉当 AU 赶到战场后已经来不及了。
对，
另外有山上
哎，但是拉扯了，但这个舌吻会有点小。
一枪就死。AU1 需要去找，一点点的去做推进，但 Raga 已经换了一个站位了，要不要去穿板？现在还在做思考，已经看到人的位置了，对墙近点有人，先打一个 1v1。
That was nice. He isolated it well.
猜到了历史，对 AG 来，
但尽管上分赢了下来，依然是惨胜啊，经济没有补回来多少。
I'm not surprised we don't see a single like old school Paper X flash reveal. Kind of, I can't remember how they did it, but they would like do pushes for the smoke with the flash reveal. Surely at least that for a Chinese team would be like kind of popping.
现在最难受的是中期技能迟迟没有一个能抓好的契机。哎，这两局
They're giving me nothing.
比他的话是一把数位，但是他在帮忙处理。但这几分是打的都
Even like long B control here is so dangerous because the way they all like. I guess Yoru has TP, but Shrimp can be caught so easy.
你要一直给一个 B 大的话不给烟有点难。
Oh, he dodges.
都是偏慢的，你要一直顶一个 B 大的话不给烟有点
I don't think you should be ulting that way if we know they got a Yoru.
难。
Oh, he didn't have... Oh, wait.
一个 B 大的
How?
话不给烟有点难。
He takes the one shot on the Yoru TP and TP's out. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
时光消防场其实给到了，
对，但是你这个 TP 面对对手众人包抄，你也没办法还手。
主要是锚点以
That Shower's Orb is the best use of an orb when with the Viper ult. I mean,
那上来 Raga 又倒，
it might not be the literal best, but I think it probably is.
会少一个闪，
It's a very good use of the orb when you got a Viper ult on shore.
所以这分的话，想要再往 A 打，得再等，得去找人对。
我刚觉得那个 B 场勾打 Chimp 表演的很真啊。
啊，
来了，
哎，对枪
再过来
，OK
架住过点，后续浴室里再做同步，再来了，
They don't.
勾打 Chimp
This guy needs to be with this guy. They need to like if they're gonna go for a showers kind of control kind of setup, they need to be together.
表演的很真啊。
Instead, the Viper is the player being isolated.
哎，对枪，
They've not actually cleared showers at all. They're just playing near showers,
后续
and they just die.
再做同步，但 Kira 已经守着的。
And then this position is so dumb because it doesn't make sense to have this guy here and have someone here that he gets 2 free kills for it. Like it's kind of it's kind of it's so stupid. I'd be so mad.
操作的机会10秒钟，爆能
They should just be checking corners, obviously, but
哇，这一分 A 速开枪，着急爆，那这样先
也就
给到对面死
非常有大的难度。
枪的优势嘛，大枪能。
而且手上的终极技能啊，那高级这一分的思路啊，还是 上来再 B 这个回复应该不会是近点的选择。
大概率应该还是先把点踩先。
要飞了，感觉要飞。看一下第一波的飞有没有什么说法 ？Kira 直接通过近景翻腾往后拉 ，TP 过来的对枪 ，Raga 能够对赢，有什么说法？
点已经进去了。
要飞了，感觉要飞。TP 过来的对枪 ，Raga 能够对赢 ，Kira 倒地，AU1 在这个拐角的位置没有人搜点，AU1 直接扛了2个的压力，有更多吗？有更多。
不用任何的怀疑。
How does this work?
能够给到正确答案。
对，
我太熟了。
Oh,
你确实很熟。
哪张地图啊？这个其实是可以。
do you guys just get like 1 or 2? Oh yeah.
啊，这个是莲花。
Wait,
能在 B 点部署。
I don't know how this works.
来看一下，猜
这个
猜我是
应该是星者的这个近战武器，其实也挺有意思的。
哎，猜猜我是谁？全息波普吗？啊，
可以反应过来。说回到这，舒服。
对，说了这种经济 A，
AG 目前的手枪击胜率已经是来到了76%。
Kong Kong is gonna have his eyebrows disappear.
小弟
Top 60 on every map. What does that mean?
76的首枪分胜率，看一下他们在下半场能稳住局势吧。但上来
I mean, I knew I do know.
直接4个人下半，SLG
The fuck is this pistol?
76的首枪分胜率，
Oh, it's
看一下
kind of like a bastardized version of the 131.
AG 直接选择
I mean, if you see this wall, you know what's going on, guys. Yeah, I've not seen this wall used, and someone's not gonna.
接触讨厌 Happy 现在
Our Yoru's dying. What are we doing? Come on. Our Yoru's literally solo pushed hooker.
讨厌 Happy 维，但
过点，被
Please, just go, bro. Just go.
安全的位置抓，已经压到了一个非常靠前的位置 ，Happy 维要把人接完，
是
这还
起来。哦，猛侠是
直接下一分就要干。
有可能要直接想要逼迫对手。
XLG's pistol had more pushouts this map in 1 round than AG have had in 3 maps.
安全的位置，远距离 Happy 维有在做支架 ，Happy 维把 Kira 给打掉了。看一下这个弹闪的效果，虽然闪
What is that reveal? Oh, it's the.
Happy 维把 Kira 给打掉了。
This reveal's nice.
弹闪的效果虽然闪到，但
There must be an easier one because I end up throwing it here a lot from like here. There must be an easy one that I'm missing.
Happy 维把 Kira 给打掉了。看一下这个弹闪的效果，虽然闪到，但鬼眼
That's a good reveal.
也是非常的精彩。而后续落地，这个口子太狭，
多考，
是又必须要
那这个长枪分 ，Raga 是没有起狙的哦。
啊，
不过他还是留了钱。
对，有经济，
补了一把步枪出来啊！
想要尝试一下，看一下第一波
我看
第2楼顶出来，看到。
I mean, it's risky, but it's a bonus.
那这样子的话，对于 AG 而言，想要打提速就已经有点
The old hooker default.
这个条件了，因为少了雷。
I don't get it, man. Your hooker default and it gets a bonus round, man.
角色
有点难受了，而且如果你打慢速推进的话，这把蟒虾也会给到压力。毕竟队里有2个。
They could have all these shitty little guns
现在
in your face.
的话，自己是一个重甲，还是有容错的。
有没有说法？
老板卡着这个位置，两边打了个1换1，但其实从 XLG 的角度，
They've got full showers control. Means that you're probably gonna see the A.
完全不急。
对，看到举头平
But we died.
，AU1 也倒地，
掉了。
2v3, winnable.
2打3，
Very winnable.
这一下 Raga 有点很 gear。
2打3，
喊地闪啊！这一下 Raga 有。
That's sharp.
现在有一个2打1的人数优，尽管舌吻断了一下爆冷器的安装节奏，但同时
Why are they planting there?
Happy 维他是从原点赶过来的，舌吻是从天上飞的。
Happy 维1v2，他需要搜点，但面前是有一个空投烟幕，拿出来对手，
嗯
掉了对手，还要
哎，好像猜到了，猜到了。
抬往下落，落下来。
I mean that's why what like why plant there? Why don't you just plant normal and then play for Molly?
选择靠近浴室这一侧的安装做的相当。
That's kind of sick. Both those players just fucking shooting though.
被这个烟反而拆开了，不然的话，Happy 维从这个2楼拉出来的话，
那对 AG 来说，这张地图
Hello, Russ.
离自己渐行渐远了。
有点难，确实有点难。现在经济
If you're in 2025 champs plat chat ranking, would you rank BLG top 3 or 4 like they did? I mean, probably not.
对，关键是手感一直打不出来。
而且为了不放这一分，再次抢起。走慢点。
罗曼直接给，哦，
Good default into a shower's default. Yep.
混烟飞劲儿也没了。
数位的穿烟单
点 ，No man，
They're not very good at attack either on this map. Yeah, it's Jover. Oh, it's Jover, but who cares? They got Groot winning 1v2s.
天地光束直接定位，但大脚步过来被听到了，他知道。哦，这个钱拿下，追回一分，但越是这样子的心态，越会给到对手机会。
Next, actually trying a nice play, like a nice cool little play, but it's not really necessary. If I was XOG, I'd just be like, yeah, they don't look very good at attack. Let's just chill.
其实也需要保证让对面不能
Don't need to make any stupid plays.
有人拉出来，拉出来，意识拉出来，队友不知道。对，AOE 其实有点被
They got baited.
被反给骗了。
啊，
主要冯盖自己的位置也漏。
Happy way, are you gonna ult?
只能提 B 了呀。
You are.
直接展开，
现在看一下自己
Very strange ult,
点后 ，Raga 现在这个位置
but it is an ult.
加强了，没问题，非常稳定的瞄准，然后再给一个格让盾，
放送长时间尴尬。
再点分没钱，
再来再顶。
Again?
直接被坑掉了。
This time against Eco?
想再吃对面。
Come on, guys. I mean, I like the push into like this is kind of like BBL style, like the attack sides where it's like they do something really aggressive and then there's something else happening,
有个细节是，它是一把
kind of like a two-pronged
这个枪给到进攻
little distraction.
那么有威胁。
It kind of requires the attack to be in kind of shit spots though, and they are again anti-eco doing this.
可能要
办法就
这个回合点，对，
而现在对于 AG 来说，想要持续的追分，他们才
Okay, eco round.
点了一。
暂时
哦，留一手这个位置，短炮有说法吗？在头顶了，在头顶了，他能看到吗？他没看到。
两个人都没看，
哎，都没看，都没看。
枪管先漏了。
进烟的人有点像倒霉蛋。
这波是真没办法，留一手的选择太棒了。
哦，玩烟火，
直接撞想去找人，发现了，他被
被躲了。
Nice try.
一破
特尔加对面，那就
追分的队员可，
对于 AG 而言，他们要打终极技能循环，甚至他们还要拼
一分，我觉得，或者是整个节奏上面都要去做一个碾压。
而现在的话 ，Raga 是起了一把局。
They just don't. They don't
XLG 是有3个终极技能在手的，他们这分可以打得稳一点，
keep hooker
不用担心
defaulting.
点冒险。
So I guess there's a little fake happening, and they're gonna go X like A. Is that what's happening?
这一波 AG 的选择是先把这个 B2楼给占下来，通过一个暗收，再加上
If they try and TP, then they've got people ready to go up short.
B2楼的信息拿到，把人往后推，但是转 A 点的过程中，这一波 XLG 点的是有4个人，这一分 AG 如果要强行往里面走的话，
But I mean, they've not. It's almost like they know that, like with Fade Ult and Viper Ult, that they always end A. Like they've not moved.
其实很危险啊。
Like there's a read here from XOG, or maybe it's just we're gonna stack this site. We play retake B with the ult or something.
等待 A 点小打进的话是可以踢走的。
我感觉这个可能 A 点也只是给一些
It's after a timeout, so I expect it's just a read.
转点的，这应该是一个转点的玩法。A 点给压力，假地一下，然后要转。
想偏地方数，
对，
可以骗到了。
偏到。
They baited ults and then they go back B.
有人埋着 ，Leo 在 B 墙的位置是埋着的。
Leo's in a good position.
会漏动静了。
哦，这 Ship 也埋住。
猜到吧？
好来了，
闪出来，第一波的对枪，Leo 已经看到了。
而且 Leo 也是有叶灵的。
Nice ult.
叶灵直接笼罩。
Oh, then they got Viper ult though.
不错，
眼内回复也是直接展开。那现在看一下，哦，我第一个枪位能打赢吗？打赢。
How did they lose this round?
那这个位置有点被断节奏。
How on earth
有人
do
在后跟着 Ship 这个位置后面有人。
AG lose this round?
两边在 battle，
哎，艾贝维开始发力了，连顶2个，
两边在 battle。
哎，艾贝维开始发力了，连顶2个，
I don't know why they're ulting.
效果
Why don't you just ult
而且
spawn?
Leo 也
Isn't it bad just ult spawn here?
也是有叶灵的。
啊，叶灵直接笼罩。
效果其实还不错。
眼内回复也是直接展开。那现在看一下。
I know you got the spike, but you're kind of gifting them
Kira 先收了一个人。
a lot of weird control
但是看一下有人在身后跟着 Ship 这个位置后面有人。
on all the chokes.
两边在 battle。
哎，艾贝维开始发力了，连顶2个。现在出现了人数的均势化，艾贝维回头望月，又收掉了 Shrimp，现在来到了一个2v1。
Yep.
有 Raga
Okay, right. That's it for me. I'll probably finish this tomorrow, but honestly, I'll probably leave China to last after watching this. I'll probably go back to Americas and APAC. Because that was kind of a bit... I honestly expected more. I expected more. I came in optimistic. And I expected a bit more. Who should I raid? I raid Lou. She's speaking French, but she's playing Valorant. Raid Lou. See you guys tomorrow. I'll be streaming every day. I'm viewing some flats tomorrow, so I'll probably be in a weird time, but I'll stream at some point. I'll catch you in a bit. Au revoir.